Thanks for tuning in to the Crossroads Podcast, your place for the latest news and discussion in the world of PlayStation, PC, and Xbox. Crossroads is a partner of the Boss Rush Network, which is your place to get a wide variety of gaming and entertainment news. If you're looking for news, podcast reviews, and more, head to bossrush.net today and see it all from our ever-growing family of contributors and creators. What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Crossroads Podcast. I'm your host, LeRon Dawkins, and here with me tonight is the PlayStation Doctor, Austin Campbell. What's up?
Hey, what's up, everybody? Hope you all had a good weekend.
I had an okay weekend. We'll talk about that in a moment. Back from the dead is the one and only Chris True.
I'm back, and I sound awful.
Like you died.
I sound like I just been smoking every pack of cigarettes every day since like last Thursday. I sound like Mickey from Rocky, but like after the penguin, when he had smoked all those shitty tiny cigarettes, it just fucking killed his larynx.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Hopefully I got sick like last week. I lost my voice entirely. For those of you who are shitting on teachers in any way, fuck you. I taught multiple days whispering to my children and them all looking at me like this. Yeah. Because they had no fucking clue what I was saying. But goddamn it, they were respectful.
All right, and back in the house with us tonight is from Nintendo Pow Block, the enlightened, ever excited Mr. Eddie V. What's up?
Hello, everybody. I'm so happy to be here. Woohoo!
I love when Ed comes to visit.
And tonight we have another guest here. Like you haven't been on Crossroads in 50 some odd episodes now?
It feels like that. The last time I was on, we were talking about the scalpers and how and how much of a rant I went on with that.
That's a while back. Welcome back in the house, Mr. Douglas Bravo. What's up, man?
I'm happy to be here, ready to talk games. Anything that PlayStation is dropping, and I'm ready to jump right into it.
Oh, I just gotta let you guys know we're in for a lot of stuff tonight. There's a lot of news to go over, and then we're going to get into our big topic tonight, which basically has been sparked by what happened in Texas and Buffalo and
Oklahoma City.
Oh, exactly. Yeah,
Chattanooga.
So we're gonna talk about. But first, how's everybody been? How are we doing?
Oh well, good. Well, my store manager is leaving. And
that means you get promotion.
Right now, I'll probably be the head person in charge of my store at work.
Mm-hmm. Uh-huh.
Right.
So, got a lot of things coming at work, but getting ready for Nintendo Pow Block 300 episode. And man, getting ready for this crazy summer of game releases. Because man, we already got two big ones, definitely for Switch with Mario Strikers and 3 Hopes for Fire Emblem. That's going to be literally big. But I'm excited for the state of play. Man, I'm literally excited for this summer of gaming. But yeah, I had a great weekend. Got to eat a deep dish pizza, and just was able to relax and enjoy myself this weekend. So yeah, doing good. And Chris, he's been doing some snacks with his son, and I've been enjoying them. Me and Chris actually been like going back and forth talking and having a good discussion. And I tried to look for the banana caramel Cheerios, and I couldn't find them at my grocery store. But I am going to try Target tomorrow, Chris, awesome, to go see them because I want to try them along with you if you find them.
Oh yeah, let's do it. So to give a little bit of background to that, I eat nothing and my son eats everything, and so what we've been doing is filming videos of me and him trying random shit. It started with Kraft mac and cheese French vanilla ice cream, which tastes as bad as it sounds. And that evolved.
I can't. Yeah. Boo. No.
It was weird.
Yeah.
It was weird. It's like eating a creamy packet of it, like just straight to the face. So that evolved into like we did one where we were blindfolded and my wife fed us crickets.
I missed that one.
It's on YouTube. It's about 11 minutes long.
Wow.
We've been calling it Bodie's Bites, and we're trying to find a bunch of different stuff. And he loves doing it, and he gets really into it. He watches toy videos. So, for starters, for any of y'all who don't know my son, he is a character.
Yeah, it's a
to say the least.
It's a new form of Nintendo, I should say. Yeah. But I definitely been enjoying them. We were talking about your latest video, and it was just I was just like, wow, your son was excited. And then he do. He's like,
yeah. He was like,
no, sir.
He flew it, but I definitely been enjoying them.
Real quick, because you mentioned it, Ed. Who else is going to be playing the server test this weekend for Mario Strikers?
I didn't know that was the thing, but I will now.
Oh yeah, well, the time
I will try.
The times are weird, but damn, like I mean, and it's only like 1 hour windows too, but it's like it's really random parts of the day. Like I don't have the information in front of me, but some people are gonna have to get up at like 1 a.m.
Yeah, fuck that.
Oh my god.
Yeah, they're doing server tests, and I was like, why aren't they just doing like everybody else? Just have the whole damn thing open for like an entire weekend or 48 or 48 hours or whatnot. You don't like you can't. I feel like you can't do a real server test. When you cherry pick the times that you want to do it, you have to do a server test based on the ebb and flow of how things go. Because hell, your game might not play right when there's not that many people on versus when there is a load.
Another reason could be that they want us to suffer and ruin our sleep schedule more than what it is.
Well, they've done this. They've done this before because they did it with Splatoon. They did it with ARMS. I think they're doing these time tests to see like how many people jump on, get that information, and then get off and try to fix some things or like get some data and then do it again. I think they're trying to collect data on what happens when different people at different times get on, so that they can make it somewhat consistent when it literally goes live. So because there's been some games that when they release and they've been having online problems and everything, like they didn't really give it a test for it or anything. They do think that one test or just keeping it going on to the weekend might be a good answer, and then realize when the full version gets released is the online is broken. I think they're trying to avoid that.
I get that. I get that, but I feel like they'd be doing a better service just by having it, like active. If anything, like have it active for a 24. Like it starts on June 3rd. So have it open for 12 hours on the 3rd. Close it off. Reopen again for another 6 to 12 hours maybe on Saturday. Close it off, and then on Sunday. Have it open for like a very small window, like 4 hours, and then close it off. I feel like giving people an equal amount of chance to actually get on there, versus like some people are not going to want to set an alarm clock just to get up at 1-2 a.m. just to play the game,
I think it's because it's a weekend thing. Some people are up at that time, so they might just hop on. But who knows?
But in all honesty, I feel like they missed the mark because, like, given this past weekend was Memorial Day weekend, that would have been the better way that would have been the better one to do it, where people had like 3, almost 4 days off.
That is true.
Yeah, I'm not really,
but we have those insane people that they'll set their alarms the way that Patrick Starr has his alarm set to get a burger at 3 a.m. Oh boy, 3 a.m.
I'm not really criticizing the move because like I probably will play during one of these time trials, but I'm not sure. I didn't even know if I hadn't heard about the time trials, I wouldn't have known that like there's like a demo available right now, right?
It's up for people to download, but it's not live yet until Friday.
You can play through the tutorials on there.
Yeah, that's what I meant. The tutorial.
Yeah, you can do that. I don't understand why they can't do what used to happen on like the Madden demo disc, where you got like 5 minute, you got like shortened 2 minute quarters and all this stuff.
5-minute quarters. Yeah.
Why? I don't know why that was so hard for Nintendo to do, just to have one offline mode where you can kind of get in there and play a game. But
Nintendo Japan makes a decision. It's their servers, so
I'm just saying. I don't understand why they.
Yeah, like I said, what I'm saying is not really negative criticism and whatnot. It's just more like it's more like I'm asking the question out loud, or I'm thinking out loud. Yeah,
I think it's just because they did it for their other games to test online. So I mean, it's something to us. I think Nintendo community fans, it's nothing new that they do it when they do an online test. They done it in the past with their other games. So
it's
Nintendo being Nintendo.
It takes like I can't schedule my day like that, right? Like it completely removes me from being able to participate in that as opposed to if it were open for 12 hours because I can find the time, right?
Yeah.
But like I can't schedule a section, right? Like who the fuck knows when Bodhi's going to burst in here and be like, "Yo, make me a sandwich, servant of me. Go do that shit right now. I'm hungry." Like that's a thing.
Yeah. Yeah, and and in all honesty, like I feel like they get more organic data if they have it open as open for a set amount of time, because then they get to see real data. Like I guarantee you, not everybody's gonna be when the game actually comes out. Not everybody's gonna be up past 2 a.m. playing the game. They're not, like they're not going to have like server load at 2 a.m. They're going to have server load like, at prime time when people get home, like, between 4 a.m. and 4 p.m. and 9 p.m.
I think, but you also got to factor in Japan and Europe are also on different times. So that's
I don't think I have a funny feeling we're not going to be, I have a feeling when the full game comes out, we're not going to be playing with people around the world. Is that are we playing with people around the world in Splatoon? I don't know because I don't have the game.
Yeah, you can. Yeah.
Are you playing? You play worldwide? Okay.
Yeah,
all right.
You literally play worldwide. Yeah.
Okay. All right. All right. My bad. I don't always know. Like, I mean, I'm a Nintendo gamer, but I'm not, a Nintendo gamer.
It's always to have a good Nintendo friend who's informative.
Mm-hmm. All right. So, did anybody else just want to add anything? Like I was asking how everybody's week was going, and then we got side tangent on Mario Strikers and Nintendo.
I actually did something that I haven't done in a while this weekend. One, we watched the whole new Stranger Things, and it's fucking awesome. So if you haven't watched it, do that shit immediately. It's the best season I've ever done.
I'm currently watching the second season of Ghost in the Shell.
Yeah, I'm about to go back and rewatch this shit.
Mm-hmm. Ghost in the Shell dropped the same day Stranger Things dropped, and it kind of pissed me off because like Stranger Things took up all the news. Like I mean, like even Netflix was just promoting nothing but Stranger Things.
It's incredible. Well, I don't care what it is. It's going to be hard to fucking top.
It doesn't matter. Like I mean, I'm behind on Stranger Things. I haven't finished season 2, so like Stranger Things is now on my radar right now. So
I didn't even know there was a new Ghost in the Shell.
Yeah,
I thought that ended in the 90s.
No, Netflix picked up the show for 2 seasons, and the second and final season just came out the same day as Stranger Things.
Is this this not the 45-minute one, right? It's the other.
It's no. It's the standalone Complex 2045. That one, the one that's done in complete CG.
Okay.
Yeah.
Stranger Things also has a much wider market than Ghost in the Shell.
I know.
They're going to make way more money off that. They don't give a shit about that. Like I get that.
I'm not here to argue about it. What I'm saying is like Netflix usually does a very good job of like promoting everything that they're releasing at a set time. And all I heard from Netflix was Stranger Things, and they had Stranger Things, Ghost in the Shell, and 5 other series dropped on that same day, and I'm like, what the hell? Like it's
Stranger Things is the guy, man. Like
I turned on Netflix because I was eating something, and I turned on Netflix just because I wanted to watch a rerun of Supernatural, and I was like, wait, Ghost in the Shell is out? Like what?
Yeah, I'm gonna have to go watch it. I didn't even know they dropped.
Yeah, I'm gonna go watch Stranger Things again.
I watched the 3rd season or the 3rd volume to Love, Death, and Robots.
Oh, how was that?
I don't know if you guys ever heard of that series.
It's on the 3rd season? I thought.
The 3rd volume came out last week.
Okay. Yeah.
It just kind of caught me off left field because I'm on Netflix and then I see, wait, number 7 trending? No, get out. 9 episodes? All right.
I'm gonna go watch it. I love the 1st season where the cats took over the world. That one was good.
The 1st season was amazing between the yogurt that had all the plans for making the perfect utopia to what else, the story about the chick that had the edge in fighting and whatnot. But this season you're gonna love a lot more. 9
Yeah.
episodes. They put out a lot of great animations and all that.
Yeah, I'll be watching it Thursday then. Yeah, I'll be gonna catch up on everything. Ghost in the Shell and Love, Sex and the Robot and Love, Death and Robots. That one is. I love that series. It's so good.
Right.
We all know where Ed's head is at now.
Love
Now we
the
have
only-
to go
with
through the
robots.
rest
The only
of the
major
show
thing-
knowing that that's where his head's at, and I hope I put that in all of your heads.
The only major thing
Chris,
I
have
had
you
to
seen
report.
some of these robots? Can you blame him?
Hey man, I have seen the really weird sex robot bots that they make in real life, and I don't know, man. I just feel like that is unsafe on like a multitude of level because like they're like
Unsanitary
exploring
for sure.
things.
For sure.
Nobody's cleaning that. Like they're not cleaning their fleshlights, so why would they clean the robot?
Wow.
Oh no.
Yeah. The only thing I have to report is this weekend. This weekend I went for a 5-mile hike at the Nolan Trail. Chris knows exactly. Chris and Doug, y'all both know about that.
Yeah.
And
Mom doesn't go there because there's snakes.
yeah. And I was doing good. Like somewhere at the beginning of mile 3, I noticed there was something going on with my knee. It was just like a weird twingy pain. And this is me just hiking it. I wasn't running it or anything. Because there's people out there that just run the trail all the time. I'm like, y'all are crazy. I don't run trails. But yeah, at the end of mile 4, I really couldn't walk anymore, so I had to go home.
Oh no.
Yeah, and so I spent the Memorial Day holiday bedridden with ice and putting ice on my knee and contemplating whether I should call my doctor to schedule an appointment and stuff. I could barely walk. I could barely walk Monday. And today I'm still kind of stiff legged, but it's a lot better than what it was.
Do you got like a brace or anything? Like
No, I don't have a knee brace, and it's funny because like for a while I've been thinking about getting a set of knee braces because when I do workouts and I do squats, like my knees act like they're about to blow out. You know, it's like yeah, and and of course
you might need to just take a couple of days of just rest, especially if you're going hard in the paint from running and all that stuff. Take it from someone that got bad knees.
That's the thing. Well, yeah, you got those. Yeah, you got those army knees. I feel for you, man.
Don't get twisted. LeRon's got the Navy knees.
See,
you can do whatever you want.
I don't know what knees you got, Austin.
Weak knees.
Oh, bad.
Sure of it.
All right, fellas, let's go ahead and talk about what we've been playing this past week. Doug, you haven't been on here in a while. You go first. What you been playing?
I've actually been back on Twitch, and I've been playing a lot of this strategy RPG. I don't know if anyone's heard of the game Disgaea.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I'm playing
which one?
I'm playing Disgaea 2, but the PSP version, Dark Hero Days. I'm actually enjoying...
Wait, is that the one? Isn't that the Printy edition one? Isn't that the one that it's got the subtitle, the special Printy edition or something like that?
No, you must be thinking of the actual Printy game that came out based on the Printies. The Printy, I want to be a hero or something like that. They had 2 games, and then they ported those games to the Nintendo Switch as a remaster. But I've been playing that as well as playing KOF 15 and Dragon Ball FighterZ.
Nice.
You know what? I just got an alert that DBZ Fighters, like the deluxe edition, is like 85% off. So I think I need to go ahead and jump on that because like if I'm gonna buy it, I'm gonna buy the deluxe edition.
Yeah, that game was always on sale.
Yeah,
on good sale.
And like the roster there is pretty set. Some people are upset that we got like so many Gokus and Vegetas, but you know.
Yeah, that struck me as kind of weird too. It's like, why can't you just take one Goku and like give him that, like, give him the spectrum of abilities and stuff like that.
But you need to know all of Goku's different move sets that he has in each forms. I'm just like,
Then never mind. Then that's why they have dedicated versions of them. Then
yeah, you know. But
all right. So right now you're streaming Disgaea 2.
yes, I'm streaming Disgaea 2 Dark Hero Days, and I stream a little bit of Fighters and KOF 15, but I'm also coming back to speedrunning RE3 Remake. So,
Here we go. Here we go.
yeah.
I guess it's time for me to get back on your stream then, huh?
Yeah, so I'm trying to get back into it, but I'm just so rusty. But you know, once that de-rust,
Well, I tell you what, I still hate you for the fact that you can juke those gamma hunters. I hate you. I hate you. Like no, like every time I try to juke those gamma hunters, I get swallowed whole.
Oh no.
it's all about paying attention.
Ed, you
time.
saw it when I was streaming Resident Evil 3. The
Yeah.
freaking amphibian hunters. They will like swallow you in one gulp.
The ones that you see in
Yeah.
the sewer. Well, they in the original game they look like frogs.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, good job to the team that made them things look scary in this game.
yeah, they definitely looked a lot sinister compared to what I remember in 3.
Yep. Yep. All right, so is that everything, man?
Yeah, that's everything.
All right, cool. Ed, you're up next.
So I'm just gonna keep it short. For Switch, I've been playing Tetris Effect. Man, Mizuguchi just knows his music. LeRon, I think you would actually dig Tetris Effect Connect. With
Oh,
the music.
I love Tetris Effect. I play it on PC. That's a game you should look into.
Yeah.
Actually, you know what? I do have it on PC. I've just never installed it and played it because
You're missing out, bro.
You guys know me. I'm on the I'm on the Humble Monthly. Like so, yeah. I'm pretty sure like it's in my library.
I kind of want you to play. I kind of want you to play Just Shapes and Beats too, LeRon. Like I literally want you to hear the house music in that game, in the EDM. You would be like, "Oh, it's hard listening not to dance while you're trying to survive through that game." But Just Shapes and Beats is like one of the greatest soundtracks of licensed music for house. Like it to me, it outbeats Streets of Rage 2, and that's a high level of a game to do. So,
hold on, Chris. Hold on, Chris made the comment. I guess you don't know about the Humble Bundle.
No idea. I was gonna say something along the lines of, can we get a Tetris game that's metal? Right? Like, give me some August Burns Red while I fucking flip some shit.
Oh wow.
We need I wish there was a way that we could get like, you know how everyone makes their own Beat Saber levels and stuff like that. We need that for Tetris Effect.
Oh
yeah, that would be nice. Actually, that would be nice. Yeah,
Chris, I could not.
By the way, LeRon, it's on PC Game Pass if you don't have it.
Oh,
I just looked it up to make sure, but yeah, it's on. I know it's on Game Pass, and I'm pretty sure it's on PC.
Chris, I wouldn't be able to do that because I was just like, I want to hear the soundtrack to all the heavy metal while doing Tetris. I would be like, oh, this is crazy.
This is insane. I'm flipping the shapes so fast.
Yes, because I would literally just get into it. But last but not least, Life is Strange 2. I'm on the third chapter. Kind of enjoying that game, but I kind of like over the whining of some of the characters.
You said the whining?
Yeah, I'm just like, come on, y'all. This is not Evangelion. I'm like, let's get over with this. Let's continue your journey.
Well, let me ask you. Some of the characters, like in high school and all that.
The main character is in high school. Yes,
that's probably why.
Yeah. Unfortunately,
the first one had that problem too.
Yeah, it's just like I understand why you're feeling this way, and I understand what their journey is, but it's just like, man up, like I know where it's leading up to, but I'm just like, come on now, I'm progressing through the game, and I'm just like kind of over the main character, not just like, man, I'm ready to jump to another walking sim game. that's really gonna make that's really gonna give a moving story. And this one is just not doing it for me. But I'm gonna see it all the way through because it's gonna be something that we're gonna be talking on Talk the Walk later on in the year. But that's all. I want to keep it just right there because there is a game called Freezer Pops that I'm going to be talking about our Pride panel.
Freezer Pops.
Yes,
Okay.
The characters otters.
And it's
not
on
otters, they
Nintendo.
fucked up.
It's on Nintendo Switch. I think it might be on Xbox and PlayStation, but when you look at the cover, I'm going to talk all about that game because I finished it and I'm saving it for our Pride panel. It's an interesting game to say the least, and I'm gonna leave it at there.
All right, Chris, you're up.
I actually didn't do any video gaming the last week. It's been absolutely crazy. I've mostly been running my mouth on Twitter. If you haven't seen my feed, but I played D&D over the weekend. While not a video game, I haven't played any kind of tabletop in a while. We sat down and actually ran through an adventure. My character's a cat. Mr. Button's the third. He's a rogue.
Nice.
He got thrown by a dragon through a fucking zombie and shredded that shit. Imagine Puss in Boots.
Oh Lord!
But with my personality.
Oh wow!
You know, I would like to play a D&D game one of these days, just to kind of get my feet wet into it. Because I watch people play, and I'm just like, yo, this is very interesting. You know.
Any
a lot of
time
fun.
you live in the area, let's fucking do it.
He does not live in the area anymore.
I'm in New York. I used to live.
He used to live out. He used to live out here, but nah, he's.
Oh my bad. He said something about the Nolan Trail. Also, I'm super jealous that you're in New York. I fucking love New York.
All right, Austin, what you been digging into this past week?
I honestly did not play a lot this weekend. I did watch a lot of. I watched the Stranger Things like Chris did. I watched it with Katie, and then we watched the Rescue Rangers movie and a bunch of other movies as well. So
I heard that one was really good.
That movie was outstanding.
It is because it's not a reboot. That's what I love so much about it. The Rescue Rangers is not a reboot. It was
good. They treated it like it was real life.
Yeah,
it was made from the outset, right? They had the cat from the Cat song. That means nothing to you, but when I was 3, my favorite fucking song was damn, I don't even know the name of the song. I just called it the Cat song, the one with the cat and the animated cat in the music video. Straight Up, maybe.
Paul Abdul
and MC Scat Cat.
MC Scat Cat.
I know that song like the back of my hand.
When he said Paul Abdul, I was like, "Oh, I'm there."
So, Chris, I was thinking of the cat from Alice in Wonderland.
Oh, you were.
I was thinking of the Aristocats. Everybody wants to be a cat. That's what I was thinking.
Nope, the cat from the Paul Abdul video.
Yeah.
My favorite music video as a kid. I saw that in the trailer and I was like, I'm fucking in. Let's go.
Oh, man. You need to run.
I know that song like the literal back of my hand.
if you love him in Opposites Attract with Paul Abdul, you need to check out his dedicated music video Scat Strut.
I'm sorry, I did not know there was more.
Well,
you're gonna love this. He made a whole album.
They did a whole album for MC Scat Cat.
Yep.
So he has a couple of music videos. The funny thing was, I think MC Scat Cat was more popular than Paul herself.
It feels like it.
It's the only thing I remember.
Yeah.
All right, Austin, keep going.
Once I saw that the Lonely Island guys were involved with the movie, I was like, "Oh, this should be good." I don't like that's all I need to know at this point.
Yo, how about Ugly Sonic?
Oh wow.
Oh my god!
I haven't seen.
Yo, Disney money. Disney money, man! I swear, like.
Yeah, I haven't seen
that. Not just good for Sega, good for Paramount too.
Yeah, right. They made all of that money back. They just sold that dumbass looking character, and Disney was like, "Oh yeah, fuck yeah, we'll do that." Genius.
And they made it work so well too. Like they gave him a whole backstory and everything, and I'm just like, what?
He was the key character in that movie.
Yeah, he was. Yeah. What were you about to say, Austin?
Well, I read a story that Disney didn't pay Paramount for it. They put it under parody. And that's how they got away with it. They didn't even pay Paramount for it.
Hey, yo.
Oh my god! Oh my god! They probably Disney just probably guaranteed that there's Sonic the Hedgehog 3 coming out now.
Yeah.
Disney probably just
That movie's already
guaranteed that.
guaranteed. Sonic the Hedgehog 2 was fucking awesome.
Yeah.
I still need to watch both of those films.
I mean,
So
it's
LeRon,
streaming
I
on
just
Paramount
watched the
now.
Uncharted movie.
What'd you think?
It was good. I think the Tomb Raider movie was better than Uncharted, but it was
Okay.
It was good.
Yeah, I'm. Honestly, it's one of those. Honestly, it's one of those movies where you had to like suspend your knowledge of the game because like once you realize that they really weren't pulling from the game that much. Like I mean, like 3% of the movie, 3% of the game is what was in the movie. The 3% of all 6 games was in the movie.
Well, what was it? My understanding of Uncharted was it was supposed to take place like him being young, which is why they used Tom Holland the way that they did.
But they had events from Uncharted 2 and 3 in there.
Oh no.
Yeah. They had events. They had events. They had events and stuff from Uncharted 2 and 3. It was like, come on, guys. You know, but you know, I get it.
We had a flashback, so that's fair.
Yeah, and that's Uncharted. I mean, that's Uncharted 3. Well, no, Uncharted 4. So yeah,
at least we got Marky Mark in the movie.
Fuck Mark Wahlberg.
Yeah, and so Austin, anything else for you?
All I really played was I played Namco Museum or Pac-Man Museum.
We was talking about that.
Pass. And I played
yeah, like
Arrangement.
Shout out the story real fast because I was all heartbroken last week when I thought it was only coming to Xbox Game Pass, and Star was like, "Hey man, I think it's on PC Game Pass too." He told me that on Friday, and so like I just logged on the Game Pass real fast. Like, oh yes, my childhood is back.
I was in love because Pac-Man.
Did you unlock
Pac-Man Arrangement?
Did you unlock Championship? Have you unlocked it yet? I haven't unlocked it yet.
Yeah, I played it till I could at least unlock, because you have to unlock Arrangement too. So I played until I unlocked Arrangement, and then I went for Championship Edition. Arrangement,
there you go.
Played a lot of. I kept pointing at the TV and telling my wife, "This is what I played on my Game Boy. This is what I played on my Game Boy."
I'm surprised she didn't look at you like, "Okay, I get it." Shut up.
I still had to buy it.
I will say though, like, I might have to buy it on Switch because I don't know, the Xbox controller. It's not. I don't know if it's not. Is the game or just like it doesn't feel right on the Xbox?
Let me ask you a question. Were you encountering lag on the Xbox version?
Yeah, like
because I'm encountering lag. I'm encountering lag on the PC version.
It may just be the game then, unfortunately.
Yeah,
because I feel like it's just like not communicating. It doesn't feel tight like it should.
Yeah, I'm encountering lag, and also the audio is not synced. Like I'm watching him like eat pellets, and I'm hearing like the pellet sound like a split second later.
Oh boy,
weird. That would drive me crazy. So I couldn't really play like the traditional Pac-Man, but a couple of times and stuff like that. So yeah, I haven't done enough to unlock Championship Edition, but that's also my quest because that's also what I played this past weekend besides Monster Hunter. And you know what? And also, you remember. And also, you remember last week I was talking about how, man, like I'm so glad like Pac-Land was on there because that was like that was like my childhood walking halfway across town. You know, my parents don't know where I'm at because I'm going to like this random ass like laundromat to play this game across town and shit. And man, like that game did not age well, but it's still fun.
Wow.
The lengths,
talking about it. We're
the lengths people will go to play video games.
Dude.
Me and Austin was talking about the Pac-Man that the maze was designed with like Legos, and it's on a diag, and you got to jump over them. I cannot think of which Pac-Man name that one was.
I think I know.
I have to look that up.
I think I know which one you're talking about.
You do have a jump button.
Yeah.
but I don't remember the Lego part.
Yeah, man.
Actually,
But
no, wait,
Pac-Man
no.
Arrangements.
There was yeah, I think it is Pac-Man Arrangements. It's an arcade mode where one of the boards is looks like Legos. Like I remember that one.
because
It's an arcade
the
game.
giant-
Jump button.
Yeah, there was no jump button. There's no jump
I
button.
thought it was. I thought you could jump over the ghost on that one.
No, not that I can remember.
I remember jumping over the ghost when I played it at Six Flags.
Not on arrangement. At least not this. I mean, maybe an arcade version, but not this version. The difference on this one is like it's sped up a lot. It's a lot faster, and all the ghosts have different power up abilities that they use. So like you have one that's like a stampede bull that can like speed through.
Oh wow!
And then you have another one that doubles. So you have two ghosts that synchronize with each other on both sides of the maze, and so I love. I don't know if I can recommend it though because it's not playing very well. But Pac-Man Arrangement is so good. I love that game.
I'm probably gonna end up picking it up next week. Because I know.
Let me know how it is on Switch because I know that's where you're getting it.
Yeah, I will. Yeah. I will because I don't know if they got physical or anything, but I think I'll just do the eShop version.
I believe there is a physical.
Yeah, I think there is a physical.
Then I'll probably just order it on Best Buy and then pick it up. Yep. Yeah, I'll let you know, Austin. I'll let you guys know.
All right, well, let's go ahead and talk about some new games that are coming out this week. It's a pretty big list, actually. But it's a big list, but it's also like a kind of like a non-list, if that makes sense. So here are the games coming to PlayStation, PC, and Xbox this week. The week of the 30th of May to the 4th of June. By the way, before we get rolling, happy birthday, Stoy. Your birthday was on Sunday. We miss you, brother. Have fun, though. His birthday is not the reason why he's out tonight. but he would have got more birthday wishes if he'd been on the show.
We would have cared more.
Oh my God.
All right, so here we go. On today, the 31st of May, we have SnowRunner, the driving sim game for PS4 and PC releasing, as well as on Xbox Series X and actually, it should be on PS5 too. I think I got a typo there. Yeah, it's on PS5, PS4, Xbox, PC, and Xbox One. So there you go. Coming out tomorrow on the 1st of June, we have the indie puzzle game named Silt, which is available for PS5, PS4, Xbox Series X, PC, and Xbox One. June 2nd is kind of a big day, though. That's also State of Play Day. On Thursday this week, we have the 2D Mayhem game Gigapocalypse. There we go. Coming out for PC, PS4, and Xbox One. We've also got Soldiers, spelled SOULDIERS, coming out for all the platforms. That's a platformer title. Austin, here you go. Your 2D shooter, Gravatar Recharged, coming for PS5, PS4, coming out for all the platforms, basically. Then we got the arcade style titles, Surface Rush, coming out for all systems. Just to let you know, just because it says arcade style doesn't mean it's an actual arcade game. It's then we have the 2D platformer title Behind the Frame, The Final Sorcery for PC and PS4, and then rounding out the 2nd of June and only coming to the PS4 is the Arcade Archives game Tower of Jiraga. Remember that game from Namco?
Oh yes,
old school arcade game. Yeah.
Too.
Speaking of going old school though, on June the 3rd we have the Wonder Boy Collection coming out to PS4. And then we have the Roguelike Unexplored 2, The Wayfarer's Legacy for PC and Xbox One, as well as the 2D platformer Super Perils of Baking for PC and Xbox One. Oh, and by the way, Austin, I didn't put this on the list, but yesterday on the 30th, there was a game. It was called BDSM.
Wow.
We're starting out really well right here.
Is it a 50-cent game that we're all going to swear we're going to platinum, but I'm the only one that does it?
Oh my god! I should have wrote it down. I will find it. It's a PC sim game. It was BDSM something. I want to say BDSM Superstars or something like that.
I bet it is.
Oh, is it?
I heard about that.
Those games where you're like a YouTube guy, and like you have to like spend money to build your YouTube space up. Like there's like a YouTuber simulator.
I have no idea.
I heard of that name, but yeah, I I haven't seen it or anything.
God, why didn't I? Why
BDSM.
didn't I? Why didn't
Is
I write
it?
it down?
Wait, is it BDSM? Big Drunk Satanic Massacre?
No, not that. No. It's not that. No.
I never thought BDSM could stand for that. I never thought about that.
I mean, it's on
The
Steam.
late
but-
80s was a weird
God.
time.
Which
Man.
just real fast, guys. Which of this week's releases has your attention?
BDSM.
I definitely am going to get Silk.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, that because
Oh,
it's a
BDSM Apocalypse?
That's it. That's it. BDSM Apocalypse. Does it have?
All right,
does it have
I'll
like?
look
Does
it
it
up.
have? Does it have a picture of like 4 women on the cover?
Of course it does.
I'm looking right now, but for some reason, the Steam site doesn't want to pull it up. There was a
Are you sure?
hold on. Let
but-
me check the actual store.
Yeah,
But-
Silk is because it's like a
Yeah,
hand-
yeah. Steam is throwing back a site error. What's going on?
Oh wow.
Yeah,
It told me I have to log in to see what it is.
yeah. I see it now. I had to go to my actual Steam app, BDSM Apocalypse. Zombies, killbots, raiders, sexy women, and animated H and you.
That's it. That's it.
Either
Yeah.
a submissive or dominant mercenary
That's it.
trying to survive to make a living.
There are just some kid somewhere going, oh yeah, I'm going to buy that.
And,
Mom's
That-
never going to guess.
What's
and
the
the
rating
game
on that one?
is
What's
the
the rating
game
for that
is on sale at 10% for $10.79. on Steam.
What's the rating? What's the rating?
The rating is set to adult only.
Of course it is.
No kids buying that then.
Yeah,
No,
So-
every
Then
kid's buying that.
Then yeah,
And
that
it
is on
has-
Steam.
and it has one user review
Oh wow.
because the
And you
game
can
just
read that
came out.
while on
So
air.
Yeah, but I mean, it legit looks like a throwback Streets of what's the one River City Girls game. It kind of looks like that.
Oh wow.
Yeah, I'm on Steam right now looking at it. And
yeah, but you know it's
I
also
don't like
showing
that.
some
I'm
explicit
clipping this
things
and
in the process too.
I do not
Zombies.
like the description. The description has me out. There- It says including questionable consent, non-consensual sex, and consensual sex. I'm gonna pass. I'm gonna pass on this.
Yeah, I'm going to big no on all of that.
Yeah,
Austin is a good boy. This is not for him.
I'm gonna stick with the I'm gonna stick with what's that waifu battle royale game that we were
With
doing?
the with the
and also
women
that play.
shoot with the women in the beach
Yeah.
shooting each other.
What are you
That
talking
also
about?
makes
DOA
sense.
Extreme
Also
Beach?
that.
Yep, I remember that game.
I think out of all these titles on here, like I may want to give I do want to pick up that Wonder Boy collection, but I think I also want to give the Snow Runner a try.
Mm.
Yeah. Silk for me with the hand draw.
I didn't know Wonder Boy had more than one game.
Oh yeah,
I've played
yeah. No,
one
it's a
Wonder Boy
it's a
game, but I haven't
franchise.
played all of it.
It's a franchise. Yeah.
I
I
will be buying Super Perils of Baking though. That is one
That game looks fun.
One of my favorite podcasters. That's his game that they're making. That's their.
Oh, yeah?
They made.
Shout him out real fast. Shout him out. Real
Yeah.
fast.
So if you are a Last Stand Media fan, that this is their 5th or 6th game. They made Herbroxia 1 and 2, and then they've also made Sacred Symbols, which is their PlayStation podcast name. So definitely check those games out. Super Perils of Baking is like he said on the podcast that it's all going to be like it's going to be a 2D platformer where it's like you're gonna he's a big like Nintendo fan. Like he's a big PlayStation gamer now, but he's a classic Nintendo fan, and he said there's going to be a lot of like hints and nods to old 2D platformer games. That's what it's all. It's going to be. He admits that it's like this is like an ode to all those games. So if you like 2D Nintendo games, this is going to be for you. And it does look it does look great. I'm not even saying that because I'm a huge fan of the show and everything. Like I genuinely think this might be their best game just by looking at it. But I highly
Nice.
recommend if you want to give them a shot. You can always their games are pretty cheap. They're like $10 when they come out, so they don't ask for a whole lot. Hebraxia 1 and 2 are both really good, and they're shoot 'em ups. Aside from shoot 'em ups, and then Sacred Symbols is a brick breaker game where they have 4 paddles on some of the levels on the brick breaker games. So you have your 2 vertically and 2 horizontally, and you're controlling all 4 of them at the same time, and it gets completely hectic. It's really fun. So
Cool.
All right, so a complete list of the upcoming titles for PlayStation systems as well as PC and Xbox can be found on our website, so head over to bossrush.net to check that out. Please enjoy and remember to hit up bossrush.net every week to get all of your info on the week's new gaming releases. And please note that all release dates are subject to change. BDSM Apocalypse is already out there.
And on sale.
Yeah.
on sale.
Wow.
Not surprised.
Okay, it's time to get started with the news. So here we go. All right. So first up, in PlayStation news this week, we have PlayStation is planning on bringing more live services games this fiscal year. So Jim Ryan has gone on record for saying that PlayStation is set to release 2 live service games during the current fiscal year, which ends in March of 2023. Live service titles are games that are considered to be games that have no end. So games as a service, stuff that we talked about, with Bungie and Haven Entertainment, like that. That comes to mind, stuff like that, even though we don't know what the hell they're doing, Well, I mean, besides Destiny, These were Jim Ryan's remarks were made during a business briefing highlighting that Sony currently possesses 1 live services game already, that game being MLB The Show 22. If you're wondering why they consider it that way, MLB The Show features a mode labeled Diamond Dynasty, which enables players to buy randomized packs of cards and try and build a dream team, either by earning or buying through in-game currency. When asked by an analyst if the 2 additional titles had already been announced or as Sony included Destiny, Ryan said Destiny is not included in the 3 games slated for fiscal year 22, and Sony is planning to have released 12 such titles by 2025's fiscal year, with an additional 3 arriving in fiscal year 23, another 4 in fiscal 24, and 2 more in fiscal year 25. So, wow, big aspirations there. Over at VGC, Video Games Chronicle, our friends speculate that Naughty Dog's in development Last of Us multiplayer game might be one of the company's planned live services games. And then there's also other online projects in works from more of Sony's studios, including Guerrilla, the people who are responsible for Horizon Forbidden West. We've got the UK based studio Firesprite. Then we got Firewalk Studio, founded by Bungie veterans. Wow, I almost got tongue-tied there. And then we got Deviation Games, which is a new studio helmed by former Call of Duty veterans Dave Anthony and Jason Blundell. Lots to unpack there. I will say this. I am looking forward to seeing what Sony's got going on. The fact that they're actually shooting big for some of this stuff is pretty fucking spectacular, honestly.
Yeah, I think it's ambitious, but knowing Sony, they're not good at marketing a lot of their games. So I think if one of these games is a big hit, I think that's what the one Sony's going to really go into and really market and stuff. I mean, if they feel like if they're confident enough that this is going to work, good for them. But I think a lot of players are gonna. I think a lot of players gonna be like, we just want the single player experience. I think it's gonna get a little bit.
No. Actually, I can tell you that is not true, because people have been asking more and more for more community based games on PlayStation platform. That has been a thing.
Well, I think people will just be like, okay, this is another games as a service thing. This is another games as a service thing. Whatever way that they roll it out, and I think 12 games feel like they're going to overdo it, and I think there's going.
Ed, that's over the course of the next 3 or 4 years.
Right, I know, but I'm just like I think a lot of players are going to just be like, okay, we get the point of what you guys are doing. If it's just a lot of shooting, like a lot of third party shooting games or first party shooting games and stuff, I think players are gonna give. I think they're gonna give it a try and probably move on, from it. I understand that games as a service is a big thing, but the way like games like Outriders and even Gran Turismo 7, just like some of those games, a lot of people just like moved on, and that doesn't stick. So
I don't think anyone's moved on. Sony just had the first major tournament for Gran Turismo last week. Like nobody's moved on.
I mean,
Like games as a service,
People who
games as a
don't
service.
play racing games probably moved on, but the people
Yeah,
that their target audiences have moved on.
let's give a more generalized definition for games as a service. Yeah, I did say games as a service are technically considered games with no end. Tekken 7, that's a games as a service. They since that game launched 5 years ago, they've had 4 massive expansions to that game. Monster Hunter technically is a games as a service. They keep releasing content for that game, and an expansion is getting ready to come out for that game. Sports titles, games as a service. What else do we have? Like what are technically Ed, Splatoon is a games as a service.
but yeah,
Yeah, we can't just generalize that games as a service is going to be your Fortnites, your Destinies, your Call of Duty Warzones and stuff like that. Like there's a broad definition for games as a service. I mean, shit, like when this Last of Us multiplayer game comes out, like depending on their lifespan for that could be considered a games as a service and stuff like
but
that.
I think if they don't make it different genres, I think people are going to be just like overwhelmed that yes, this is another game as a service, but it's another one that's in that same genre. Like if out of the 12 games, if it's just still like a rhythm based shooting or something like that, people are going to be like, okay, we got 6 games from Sony, and that we want something different from it. We want something that's going to really really stick with us, for a games
Guys,
as a service.
Fortnite is the
guys,
most played
guys,
game on the planet. It's a shooter, and it's like dumb easy. I think when games come at you as a service and they companies cater to the actual gamer, they can be successful. Fortnite proves that. That game wasn't supposed to fucking exist. Like it was an accident. And
Yes.
then you can now fight Batman with Obi-Wan Kenobi, partnered with like random fucking people, Rick Sanchez and shit, right? Like
And it actually didn't start as a games as a service, because that was a
exactly.
building. It was a building game until PUBG got popular and Epic took that idea.
No Man's Sky is a games as a service.
Yep.
Yeah, like
Well,
games, like games that have no end are technically part of this whole thing. So there's a big spectrum. Like, like we can't simplify it by saying, oh, it's only these games and stuff like that.
Well, that's
like,
what I'm just saying. That I just hope that, as ambitious as it is, that the genres are different that they do.
is it ambitious though? Is it ambitious for a company to want to release 12 games in 3 to 4 years though? That's not
But
ambitious at all.
but
That's
as
not
a game,
ambitious at all.
but sticking with it as a games as a service, I think that's ambitious.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but it depends on how big these games are too. Like,
Mhm.
who knows
Mhm.
what even? It may not all be like third person type shooters. It could be. I'm trying to think. I mean, it could
It could be
even
all.
be
It could be
something
all that.
a
It could be all that
card-based
stuff I
game
just
for
laid
all I
out.
know.
Yeah, it could be all that stuff I just laid out. Like shit, that game that I stopped playing Teppen is a games as a service.
Yeah.
It's a very
Um,
wide world. They should do it with sports games to begin with. They need to stop making Madden games every year.
Sports games are how it started.
Exactly. Well, to me, they don't do a good enough job of it.
Sports games are how it started. Then it evolved into games like Quake. You had games like it evolved into games like Quake. It evolved into games like Diablo and StarCraft. Fighting games, definitely snap that up now because like a fighting games development cycle is not like like it's time in arcades and then it releases. Now you've got online periods where like the game like shit like Capcom's had to beg people, can we shut down this server? Like, no, we're still playing this game.
Well, you've got what was the Blizzard
World of
it's
Warcraft,
like not World of Warcraft.
League of Legends.
It's League of
Overwatch.
Legends. That's Blizzard. What is it?
Overwatch.
Not
Overwatch.
Overwatch. The other one. It's the top down like League of Legends. Fuck is it? All I can think is Heart of the Swarm and that's StarCraft 2.
Wait, Dota,
All I
right?
can think of is
No.
Overwatch
There's
characters.
Dota. There's I think I don't want to say Smite.
No,
Heroes of the Storm.
No.
It's
Heroes of the Storm. That's the
Heroes
one.
of the
That's
Storm.
what it is.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Like that shit like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's so many things they can do. Sony's not going to just be like, here, we'll just have a bunch of dumb fucking shit.
Just shovel out. Yeah, shovel. Yeah, I mean, if you look at the diversity of all those studios I just named, they're doing different stuff. It's not just the same stuff. Like I feel like it's
Sony makes better first party games than the other companies. Period. Like their experiences.
Careful.
I like Nintendo too, Ed. I cannot wait for Breath of the Wild. But cinematically speaking, Sony does it better.
Yeah, I agree with you. You know, story. Nintendo is not into the cinematic storytelling. That's not
Exactly.
them. You know,
what's stopping them from doing that though?
Chris Pratt.
I think because of I think they have a different philosophy of gaming. You know, and they're thinking about fun. So that's why you see different games with different art styles and stuff like that. I think Sony wants to tell a deeper story, and the way that they tell it is through through their cinematics. You know, I think they both just have a different development style of games.
All three of the major companies have like a different style and idea.
That's why it's a great time to be a gamer.
And exactly.
I hate when motherfuckers are like, hey, I'm an Xbox. I'm not going to play on your PlayStation. Yeah, no. Why would you do that? You get the same thing when people are like, I only read Marvel comics and DC. Like, why would you rob yourself of good content?
Yeah, that's true.
I only watched Wes Anderson movies in tiny theaters in the smallest parts of cities.
Oh my god.
Oh goodness.
I love Wes Anderson films too. That's actually probably how I prefer to watch them.
All right, we're gonna go ahead and move on to our next topic, which in more PlayStation news, it looks like Returnal might be coming to PC. So check this out. Over at SteamDB, which is a website that logs new listings on Steam and are not affiliated with Valve, recently there was logged a new listing for a product that is very likely to be the PS5 exclusive Returnal. The game, codenamed Oregon, like the state, is accompanied with tags such as roguelike, sci-fi, and bullet hell. All appropriate descriptions for Returnal. What's more, there are also references to Tower of Sisyphus and Atropos, both of which appeared in the 2021 game developed by Housemarque. If it is true, Returnal would join fellow Sony titles Horizon Zero Dawn, Days Gone, and God of War in appearing on the PC. So, guys,
yep,
I would say it's not much of a rumor.
I called this. Remember, Austin? I called this. I was like, Returnal is coming to PC.
Would this be Housemarque's first?
God of War went to PC. You could have said any of them were going to PC.
No. Well, that's true, but I said Rogue. I said Returnal looks so much like an arcadey style game that would wind up on the PC.
Would this be Housemarque's first PC title?
I don't think so.
I don't think so.
I think this would be their second or third. Didn't one of the Dead Nation games hit Steam or something?
That's what I thought, but I'm going to check and make sure.
Mm-hmm. I think this is cool if it happens. I mean, I know you talked about it around games that's on more platforms that allow people to play it. It's a good thing. So I think it's going to happen. I wouldn't be mad seeing people. And of course, you know, people going to probably mod it, or people are going to update the graphics and stuff. So I'm excited.
People are going to mod it in easy mode.
It'll be their second game that they published. They technically have more, but this is the second game that they published themselves on PC. Okay. Next Machina was the other one.
Okay, there we go.
This is a great game. I love Next Machina on PS4.
Yeah.
I could just see like someone modding like the character for Space Harrier into Returnal. I would kind of laugh at that. But yeah, I'm excited if it comes to PC.
I'm very excited for PC players to play this game because I think that's honestly I think
I
this
feel like
one belonged on PC more than Bloodborne.
Yeah,
Now I would
yeah,
say
I feel like-
Bloodborne has to be on there, but
yeah, I agree with you. I feel like the PC community will welcome this game.
Yeah.
It just like it seems like roguelikes are more at home on PC on the PC platform anyway. So I have this funny feeling that this might be their next hit. God of War has almost hit a million sales on PC,
Mhm.
but
Yeah.
Returnal will probably surpass it.
Oh wow!
Returnal's such a good game. I haven't
Yeah,
finished it.
it is.
I played a ton of it.
I haven't.
and
I have.
really loved it.
I haven't started it. I haven't.
Oh,
I
wow.
haven't
That's
started
because
it.
you talk a lot of shit, but you
Yeah.
don't back it up. But we all knew that. I love you.
well,
I just don't.
mean,
I just don't. I just don't play. I just don't play enough games. That's the problem. Like I'm too busy doing this stuff.
Dude, who are you talking to? I'm part of the way through Trek to Yomi. I'm part of the way through
Wait, though.
Seafood.
Wait. The game only takes like 5 hours to beat,
Yeah,
from what I
gotcha.
heard.
I gotcha. I have a 3-year-old. Daddy, make me a sandwich. Daddy, do whatever.
Give
I
him a
love him.
butter.
He's the
Give him.
best, by
Give
the
him a
way.
butter knife and 2 slices of bread and tell him to get to work.
You want me to arm him? Are you mad?
A butter
arm
knife.
him.
A butter knife. What can he do with it?
Wow.
Yeah, he.
You know what? No. I've got a question for you guys, real fast. What other PlayStation properties would you like to see coming to PC?
I would love to
I'd
see
like
The
to
Last
see-
Guardian.
I'd
The
like to
Last
see
Guardian?
them use some older
Yeah, The Last
games.
Guardian and Siphon Filter. I would love to see.
Nobody's going to play Siphon Filter in this current iteration. Like they're going to have to make a good new game.
Well,
And-
yeah, but that's what
They're
I'm
gonna,
saying.
and
they're
we-
gonna
and we
either
already-
have to make a new game or they're gonna have to remaster Siphon Filter.
And they're and as soon as they do it, Jeff
Oh.
Ross is gonna cry like a little.
And
Let me
SOCOM.
stop.
SOCOM. Yeah,
Mhm.
a lot of people. I think it was was it the PlayStation 2 or PlayStation 3 version? A lot of
Existing-
people like.
Existing properties that I would like to see on PC right now would be Ratchet and Clank, the Spider-Man games. Uncharted is already coming, so I can't ask for that anymore.
yeah.
My dude is super excited about the Spider-Man games. My son loves Spider-Man, so I'm gonna have to play through all of them while he watches.
Yeah,
Daddy,
if
you're doing it wrong.
we're gonna reach back into it, like if we're gonna reach back into some old stuff, Resistance. I can't
Yeah.
ask enough. I
I
can't
was gonna
ask
say Jack
enough.
and
I
Daxter.
would
haven't
love to
played
see
those
what
games.
Jack
could
and
do.
Daxter, yeah.
I would love to see what they would do with Toshin did.
Bring back
I
the
think-
Musha games.
I think that's Stoy in our chat right now. He says hashtag bring back Mag.
Man.
Oh,
I
goodness,
would,
the 100
I
player
wouldn't
game.
mind seeing.
Talk about another games as a service.
I
Yeah,
wouldn't
we-
mind seeing the Medieval remake have an opportunity to move from PlayStation 4 to PC just to see if it'll have any luck there. Because don't get me wrong, when I saw gameplay for the remake of Medieval, I thought, you know what? This isn't bad at all. This should do good since it's a complete remake, remaster of the game that came out years
You know
ago. It had multiple sequels, a PSP spin-off game, but nothing really happened with it, and if it, one thing kind of led to another, and
A game that was only on PlayStation that I lost my mind when I discovered it was on PC.
was that
Zone of
Mario Bros.
Enders, the
Adventure.
second runner.
I have no idea what you said.
Oh,
Zone of
Yeah,
the
Zone of the
Enders?
Enders.
Zone of the Enders, the second runner. Like I saw that and I was like, oh, I don't care how much it is, I'm buying this.
Aren't both of the games on PC though?
No, it's just the second Zone of Enders.
Oh wow, yeah, that
Yeah, played it, beat it, unlocked the Vic Viper, went back into it again.
Oh, nice. Yeah, I think I'm glad that Sony does put a lot of their games on PC. I think a lot of their titles also fit there. It's cool that people get the chance to play some of their classics that they miss on previous years and previous platforms.
Yeah.
I
bring them
think
all.
I think the problem that I have though is kind of with the Sony fan base, because it's like they sometimes they freak out. Oh, why are you putting this game on PC? I'm like,
Yeah,
what's there to freak out about?
exactly.
The game is being shared with everyone, but we don't have any exclusives. Are you fucking
Yeah,
kidding me?
yeah,
You know how many
yeah.
exclusive?
Gamer mentality is fucking stupid sometimes. It's like we're no longer bound by exclusives on consoles. Like if because in all honesty, as these games get more and more powerful, they're going to show up on the PC. They're going to show up on other platforms and stuff like that.
Well,
Because let's look at it, like like porting these games down to PC is not that bad now. Like it used to be a time when like a PS2 game getting ported to PC back then
mhm,
was a rough endeavor.
right.
you know now it's getting fairly easy. I mean, yeah, like the game still, you still get your games bugs and stuff like that, but like I just never understand. Like I particularly don't. It's because it's PlayStation gamers and it's Xbox gamers that do that, even though Xbox gamers should already know their games are coming to PC because like Microsoft basically like pimps them out to PC anyway.
Yeah,
I think it's the announcement that when uh it's not saying it's a privilege thing, but like with Microsoft, their business is in not only in console but in PC. So they have that kind of development where they could put it on both platforms. Sony in the sense that everybody thinks that um when something from their first party studios come out for their platform, it needs to stay on there. It needs to
That's
be anywhere. And
that's
it's not.
that's
It's
true,
just
but
not. And I think when Sony seen the business that PC was getting, they were just like, okay, we could put more games because
it
it's a
wasn't.
good
It was.
business
I don't
plan.
think. I don't think it was so much what they saw, what the PC was getting. They saw what the PC could give it, because,
Yeah.
like, I mean, Sony did not have to put Horizon Zero Dawn out there. They did not. And
No.
man, like that game actually like basically flipped the light switch for Sony. It was like, wait, really? Let's try this again. They put Days Gone on there. Days Gone,
But
got mediocre numbers, but like then they threw God of War out there, and like bam, it's another one.
and that's why I said a
Uncharted
bit.
Legacy of Thieves is coming.
That's why I said they seen the business that they were getting on PC, so that's
Mhm.
good adding to Sony's business. So
Yeah.
just like, yeah, we might as well. You guys get the first edition of releases on PlayStation, and then anything else when we put it on PC, it's just you know additional benefit for
yeah,
PC players.
and you'll
Yeah.
know when it comes out too, because they'll make a big old announcement, and it gives other players the opportunity. It's like, oh, this game's now on PC. Maybe I should play it on the PS4, or this, anything that where it was before, and kind of go from there.
Hmm.
Bring more players into the fan base.
For real. Yeah. Like I
True.
said, gamers always win when there's more opportunities to play games. Like, so. I don't understand the stinginess of why it has to stay on one console. Why limit yourself? Because this is the last thing I'm going to say about this. Like let's look at this. Like like the game comes out on PC. You learn about mods. You learn about fan created content and stuff like that. It actually expands the game that you thought you loved for so long on your one console. Stuff like that. Like I've seen them do so much. I've seen the community do so much stuff for Monster Hunter World that
Hmm.
Capcom didn't even think about. And I'm not even talking about mods. Like okay, for example, like there's quests in Monster Hunter World now that are no longer available. Capcom no longer puts them out. Like the commodity community, the community has actually been able to make it so that you can play those quests whenever you want to, and things like
Hey,
that.
the PC community fixed alien colonial marines by changing one
They,
number, so
yep,
that says a lot.
they sure as shit did. All right, we're gonna go ahead and move on to our next topic. All right, in Xbox news, Jerry Hook departs Halo Infinite and Microsoft. Uh, all right, so if you guys don't know who Jerry Hook is, Jerry Hook was the head of design for Halo Infinite. he announced his departure from 343 Studios and Microsoft via Twitter last week. Hook started his career at Microsoft in 2003 as a lead program manager for commerce and accounts for Xbox Live. Later, he would take on the executive producer role and was credited with numerous 343 industry Halo titles, including Halo 4 and Halo 5 Guardians. After leaving Microsoft for a short time to work for Bungie on the Destiny franchise, he returned in 2018 to ultimately become the head of design for Halo Infinite, which released in 2019. Halo Infinite has had a bit of a journey following its launch towards the end of last year, with multiplayer fans voicing major frustrations over a number of issues in the game, that ranging from lackluster seasonal battle pass offerings, a lack of content updates, and concerns with the game's monetization. Yeah, so microtransactions. Yeah, there you go. 343 has pledged to improve matters on multiple occasions. But as we go forward, though, Hook is yet to share his future plans on his departure, only teasing a next saga is coming soon on his LinkedIn profile. All right, so we are definitely missing our Xbox gamer tonight, but
I was gonna say we're doing Xbox without Stoy.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I mean, like this we're multi-content now. Like it's been a while, hasn't it?
It's been. I haven't been on the show in a while.
I'm kind of getting used to this as well. I was confused. I'm like, huh? But oh well, we got to reach out to everyone, and that's always good.
Okay. Well, these next few questions will be for the audience, and then we'll move on to our final news story before we get to the big. Stories like
what else can we talk about?
Stories in the chat. Like I'm kind of here. Story.
Well, can I say that?
I feel like when we hit Xbox, we were scraping the bottom of the barrel here. There's more news.
I think he's probably gonna go to Activision or EA. I think he's probably finding a place that's now.
Wait. He left Microsoft. He's not going to Activision.
Well, that is right. Well, the reason why reason I say Activision is because the merger is not done yet. So, but there's no if he goes to another studio that does a first party shooter, it would probably be EA. I wouldn't know where else he would go unless he starts his own company and does a new IP.
He's part of this Sony games of service industry. Maybe we do get MAG or we do get SOCOM.
You think he's MAG? You think he's joining? You think he's joining up? He's joining Firewalk with other Bungie veterans.
It's possible.
Or he probably end up going back to Bungie. They're probably.
I will say, Halo Infinite Season 2, way more content, which is nice. There's a lot more content on Season 2 that is very nice, that it's gotten better. I don't know how the Halo community completely feels upon it. I'm not really a part of it. I just really like playing the game. But there's a lot more content now. And it's a lot smoother now as far as like your progress tracking on your season passes and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. So
yeah. For the things I heard, like season, like this, like the new season is definitely an improvement on what they had at launch, which is definitely good because I mean, like, if we're being serious right now, like Halo Infinite was a laughing stock when it released. Well, actually, it wasn't even a laughing stock when it released. It was kind of a laughing stock in pre-release. When Microsoft showed it off in that showcase, and everybody was like, "Guys, I'm nervous."
Well, when it first came out, I mean, people were really high on it. Like, people were really high on it. But then, like, months passed and they had not added anything or changed anything or added new game modes or recommendations from the community and stuff like that. So people turned on it.
Our friends Jeff
very long.
Our friends Jeff and Brody over at Diggity, they had some words about it a couple of weeks ago on their show.
I know Halo Infinite is on 343's very own engine. So this is kind of like their new game. And I think they're still trying to explore that engine and learn it and everything, even though they created I know the game had problems, but I mean, it's a good single player. I think a lot of people just mad at the multiplayer stuff and them promising the 2-player co-op and single player and stuff. It did numbers. People enjoyed it for what it was when it came out, but I think when they were done with the single player and got to the multiplayer, they was just like,
Well, no,
no.
it came out. No, it came out multiplayer first. There was no. There was no
Yeah,
single player
launched
campaign when it launched.
Just multiplayer.
Oh, with the free multiplayer that they released.
The single player came later.
Was it Game Pass for the multiplayer,
It
or did
was.
they just?
It was the entire game's been Game Pass. The entire game. So like when it launched, it was on Game Pass multiplayer. I think Xbox. I think actually Xbox console owners had the priority though on it. And then the single player campaign came out and that was also available on Game Pass.
Okay, that's what I was wondering because like you couldn't download the multiplayer without it.
Stoy just dropped a the number one thing that everybody is complaining about with Halo.
Don't say it. He should have been here.
Yeah, Stoy mentioned that it's still shocking that there is still no co-op campaign mode. Co-op campaign mode is what made Halo. Like I played the original Halo, and I remember I played it on the couch with my buddy. Like we
Yep.
I
said the co-op campaign. I did.
did?
Yeah.
You did?
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I must have glossed over it. I'm so sorry. Like,
No, that's okay.
He was.
like trust me, guys. I pay attention most of the
No,
time.
he doesn't.
But I think that game is
Shut
going
that-
to
Chris, shut the hell up.
how she feels about that statement.
I really think for their Microsoft and Bethesda showcase in 2 weeks, I think we'll see more of Halo Infinite, and I think that's when they reveal maybe the co-op for it and everything. But for the that lead designer that left, yeah, I'm interested to see where he goes and what he does next for his team.
Yeah, same. I have one follow up question before we move on. Will the recent departures from 343 Studios be a good or bad thing for the future of Halo?
I think it all comes down to perspective, where it can, in one instance, it can be good and help either improve gameplay or add whatever that they want to add to it, or in another perspective, it can just turn into a whole shitstorm.
It was crazy because like when I went to Twitter to read his announcement that he left, and man, some of the comments were like, "Don't let the door hit you on the way out" and stuff like that. Like people are really upset with the way Halo Infinite turned out,
Taking
and
their
like
frustration out on him.
and they were not pulling punches. I mean, like he was the lead designer. He was the head designer for the game. So that's basically the director.
I understand that, but you know, you can't always take out everything on the director. Like,
Right.
I mean, it's not like Inafune, who pretty much after doing 2 Dead Rising games, just up and left Capcom the way that he did, only to put out his own version of Mega Man, which ended up failing badly. Mighty Number 9.
We're not gonna go there. We damn near dedicated a whole podcast talking about that a few weeks ago.
Yeah, but you get what I'm saying, you know.
Yeah.
You know, like I feel like sometimes directors they don't get the appreciation that they deserve, despite whether the game is a success or just a big ass flop. You know.
Yeah, I'm glad you
People
mentioned.
don't
I'm
think
glad
about
you.
the overhead either. Like there are other people pulling that aren't the director. Fucking look at Alien 3. If we want to like look at movies and like kind of tie that in, that movie was not good. It almost ruined David Fincher's career. But because one of the movie execs was like, "Yeah, we know that wasn't your fault," he got to make fucking 7.
Well,
People
actually,
forget that shit even with video games and stuff.
well, you know what? I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna say this. Basically, Halo is not his baby. I mean, if you want to look at it, people haven't been right about Halo since Bungie stopped doing work on Halo. Like in all seriousness, like I remember hearing a slew of complaints starting with Halo 4,
which is odd because people who were on Retro who made Metroid Prime went to 343 Studios to make Halo 4.
Yeah. What I'm saying, honestly, I think one of the given the fact that I have checked because like I did my due diligence. Like I heard everything that Brody and Jeff were saying on the Diggity podcast. By the way, check those guys out if you. But I did my due diligence after that because I was like, you know what is Halo really this much of a shit show? And so yeah, like seeing stuff from Digital Foundry, seeing stuff from other notable like like content creators and stuff like that. Yeah, the general consensus is a Halo Infinite. Like as much of an entertaining game as it is, it's kind of a bust. And stuff like that. And honestly, a lot of people say like there's something different about the game since Bungie's been gone, which is kind of like if you want to put it in like a PlayStation perspective, it's the same thing that people said when Amy Hennig left Naughty Dog. Like Uncharted felt different, stuff like that.
All I can say is that it's like Forza Horizon, or pretty much Forza in general, has become the leading one series for Xbox, and Halo has
which is a shame.
Or
so. Yeah, it's a shame. Yeah. All right, guys. Let's go ahead and move on to our final news topic. That way, we can break into our big event for tonight, or our big topic for tonight, I should say.
I hope it's something ridiculous.
All right, so in PlayStation news tonight, Sony said that they want 1.5 million units of PSVR 2 ready at launch.
For no one to buy them?
So I can already hear the wheels turning Ed's head about the ambitions here.
Tone it down, Ed. We're on your side.
Sony plans to manufacture 1.5 million PSVR 2 headsets for the second half of this year, according to Ming-Chi Kuo, a reliable supply chain analyst. Making the remarks via his Twitter, Kuo, who is an employee at TF International Securities, which is noted that the virtual reality device could ultimately drop in early 2023, depending on the development schedule of game titles, which means like will they have games to match the numbers? They're both symbiotic. Like if there's going to be games for it, there should be units for it. Sony has previously mentioned its intention to have more than 20 major titles available for PSVR 2. And given that we're only a couple days out from Sony's new State of Play presentation, we're looking at seeing like a near 30-minute show where Sony says like we're going to get glimpses of what's to come for PSVR 2. It's not the PSVR show though, because there would be more news from other industry giants out there as well. But yeah, like Sony has also implied that it intends to deliver larger scale experiences with its new headset, and has spearheaded interest in the peripheral with the CES 2022 announcement of Horizon Call of the Mountain. There we go. I was about to say Call of the Mountain Horizon. I had it backwards for a second there.
That might be a reason enough for me to actually buy one of those things.
See, there you go. There you go.
Just because it'd be hilarious to watch Hannah try to play Horizon, and then have her curse at me for spending that much money on something that just pisses her off.
So,
well, I think it's going to be. Yeah, I think it's going to be the price point. If the price point is reasonable, I think that's going to make it. People buy it and everything. Not so much the games just yet, because I have to see what the games are. I will say this: I would love to see like the PSVR 2 and Returnal be one, like that be a mode, and I would love to see that. But I think it's just going to be the price point.
Okay, all right. So the one thing Sony has going for it is they gotta nail the price point on this. It's got to be cheaper than the Oculus Quest. It's got to be cheaper, which means it's got to be under $300. But my thing is, like, Sony's gonna have to take a risk. It's gonna have to run between $200 and $250. I probably see it at the most. They drop it for $279.99 at the most. But
that shit's gonna come out at $500. We all know it.
It's not. Why would it be the same price as their flagship console?
Didn't the original one come out that expensive?
Austin, you bought the PSVR. Well, how much was it?
If I remember correctly, it was $400 for just the unit itself, $500 if you wanted it with the Move controllers, the camera, and all that stuff.
They can't do that again. They can't do that again.
I think it's got to be $300
That's what I was about to go with.
And
300.
and no more, or else it's gonna struggle.
I think.
Should we take bets on this?
So I would say this:
I don't bet.
if they do the same price point as the system, I'm thinking the PSVR, probably a controller or two, and a pack-in game. That's the only ones I could think of that would make it be at that price point. But if they're just doing the system and one controller, I'm with Austin and saying 300. They can't go.
Yes.
They can't go past that because of the. I can understand if you're going to have it at a high price, there's got to be a deluxe edition where there is a lot to it. Now, if it is $500, that's a GameStop bundle or something. If they want to do that, but if it's like just 500 for the PSVR and the controller, they're out of their mind.
I'm telling you right now, they cannot launch it at $500. Not given the fact that there's 2 video game consoles on the market that are $500. People are like, wait, like because here's what's going to happen. Like there are people who are interested in PSVR, so some of them probably aren't even thinking about dropping money on a PlayStation until PSVR is out.
Mm-hmm.
So
how many people out there are like that though?
No, Chris, you would be surprised. Like there are people who have interest in one aspect of something that they will buy that thing and the thing that it's supposed to be a part of.
No, I get that, but it just blows my mind that would be PSVR.
That's not far fetched. There are people out there who want to elevate their gaming experience. There are people out there that want that game. If they want a basic gaming experience, then they'll just buy the system.
A bag of wheat.
What I say is just,
look at all those people. Look at all those people that bought Nintendo Labo. Some people bought a Switch just to play Nintendo Labo.
Mm-hmm. Well, and the Labo, I'm not gonna lie. Looking at it, it looks fun as hell. I wish I would have spent money on the Nintendo Labo so I can sit here and make cardboard cutouts or a piano or whatever. But I have to. The only reason I didn't get it is because my dog. He,
and then need that shit.
Some people just bought the Xbox 360 for the Kinect and the games that only play the Kinect.
That's true. But at that time, that was the big thing.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So all this tech is a big deal.
I guess that's fair.
Look at the people who bought those stupid ass 3D televisions.
Yeah, fucking.
Do you mean the Sony 3D televisions that came out?
Are we gonna do this?
Go ahead,
no, we're not.
Austin.
No, we're not.
Well, I'll say this.
Go ahead. I want to know what Doug's gonna say.
Is that what you're talking about, or?
I'm just saying. Some people went out and bought 3D TVs just for a 3D TV experience, which means they had to go out and buy like the Blu-ray players that throughout the 3D signal, and they had to buy the more expensive Blu-ray discs.
For crying out loud, just go to the fucking movies. Get your 40 IMAX.
As a person who does
get your 40 IMAX experience right there with the realistic sound effects blowing out your eardrum, making you feel like you're right there. Like
Avatar wasn't that good.
Look, I'm just no. You asked the question of who would buy this one thing.
Yeah, I was asking. Yeah, and I was being sure which brand because I knew Sony put out 3D TVs, and there were people buying it for the fucking PS3 or whatever console that they had.
I think it was Killzone 3. I think.
Oh,
PS3.
And I'm just sitting here. I'm like, yo, you must be out of your mind to just be spending all that money on a TV that its only purpose is going to be for a game like Killzone 3 or whatever.
No. The 3D aspect wasn't like the exclusive aspect of the television. You can still watch regular stuff on it, but I mean, people spend that extra couple $100 for the 3D functionality. And Austin, what were you going to say?
LeRon, if you tell me, hey, if someone tells me, hey, come over to my house for the Super Bowl, we're going to watch my 3D TV, I'm not going to your house. I'm not going to your house. I'm not
Fuck
going
your
down.
TV.
I'm not watching
Dog.
the Super Bowl on your TV. No, I think even if it was sold, I mean, the real thing is they have 1.5 million made. I think they will sell them all.
Mhm.
As long as they stay, I think even 400 they could sell them all. I think there's enough people that would be on board.
So here's the thing that I'm worried about, and I do believe that they'll be able to sell all the units. It goes back to, once again, scalpers, because
Oh yeah,
Scalping's not that big of a deal now. In all
Yeah.
honesty, like it's almost 1-to-1 that real customers are getting actual like systems off the
PS5s.
floor.
Yeah.
Like scalpers aren't really going to be that big of a deal now.
But they're gonna
And
try.
also, you know what? Because thanks for giving me a chance to do some tech talk here. Like, yeah, like
Oh,
the
dear
price,
Lord.
the price of chips and graphics cards and stuff. They're also getting down to like back to almost MSRP and stuff like that. So
Oh,
I
wow.
think those days are gone unless we have another pandemic. I think those days are gone.
I know the
Monkey
Now,
pox,
LeRon-
man, it's everywhere.
I don't think the 1.5 million would sell out. I think it will slowly sell as more PlayStation 5s become available for people. I think it's just gonna take some time for them to sell all of it. I don't think everybody's gonna rush out and get it just yet. But
I mean, if they made it compatible with the PS4 to bring people in while they wait on getting a PS5,
It's not gonna be
Yeah.
compatible with PS4. It's not.
they
Oh,
designed
wow.
it for
No,
PS5.
the hardware in it is not going to be compatible with PS4's architecture.
Oh, wow.
well, and think about it. Like, people aren't going to want to spend money on a VR when, like, they want to spend money on. If you were to spend money on one thing, the VR or the PS5 this year, most people are going to try to get the PS5 rather than the VR.
For sure.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
That's
unless you
fair.
can afford both. which
Like I
is
said,
good
it's
on you.
the really fringy people that are waiting for this thing to drop so they can buy a PlayStation at the same time. As a matter of fact, I guarantee you, as soon as there's an announcement for when the launch date is for the PSVR 2, you're probably going to see an uptick in PS5 sales.
I think I'll wait for Digital Foundry to do a review on it. When
I
they get their hands on it, because I think they're
Why do
going
you
to.
why do you need Digital Foundry to do?
mean, I feel like
I don't think Digital. I don't. You know.
Digital Foundry does reviews on tech.
yeah,
I
they
know
do
I
reviews
know
on they
I
do
know they do
reviews
reviews
on tech.
I know
as
they do
well.
reviews on tech, but I don't think I don't think I've seen them talk about the Oculus.
Listen, all y'all got to do is buy me one. I'm the most skeptical motherfucker on the planet. If I like it, you're good.
If not,
Or just LeRon, go talk to a niece. Tell her I want one for
Well,
Christmas.
I think
Wait, what makes you think I'm in? What do you make you think I'm in her good graces?
I don't know. You're always in her good graces. She usually likes you more than me.
We'll test that. I'm gonna stop by your mom's house unannounced one day. We'll see what happens.
wow.
oh wow.
Well, I mean, is that before or after she calls the cops?
Wow.
Oh,
Then she'll realize it's LeRon and call them back and be like, "Oh no, it's okay." Other things that shouldn't be said.
I'm the good Negro.
Wow.
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 I'm not going to dispute that.
Let's get to our next topic.
Listen,
Okay, yeah, we're moving on.
you said it.
I've said too much. I've said too much.
Hey man, if you don't want your shit getting out, don't act terrible.
All right. To get the scoop on all tonight's topics, links have been provided in our Twitch stream chat. Go check them out. You can also head over to bossrush.net and check out all the articles where all of tonight's topics came from. And then keep the conversation going with us on our Twitter page at @PS_Crossroads. All right, guys, it's time to do this. We're going to go ahead and get into our big topic tonight. And this is a heavy one. I want to go ahead and just put a disclaimer out there to anybody that's actually listening or viewing right now. First of all, our hearts and souls go out to every single victim of every single one of these most recent and even the past, like mass shooting, all the violence and all that stuff. Like, I mean, this is what we're going to talk about tonight, but we're actually going to put a spin on it because, in all seriousness, if you've been paying attention to like what law officials and politicians have been talking about, these motherfuckers just want to continue to blame video games for the mass shootings and all the violence that happens and stuff like that. And you know, it's time to stop. It's time to stop that shit, because I'll be serious with you. Like, I've been playing video games since I was like 7 years old. And even though I jokingly say I'll jump up on a rooftop and start shooting people, I've never really thought that that's the thing that I need to do, because guess what? I have better things to do with my life. Number one. But also, video games didn't turn me into a killer. I joined the military. There you go. Yeah, I joined the military, so like I know how to do things. You know, I'm just gonna leave it at that. You know, so yeah, so tonight we're gonna talk about our good friend David Lasby's. Well, actually, we're gonna use David Lasby's article on bossrush.net titled "Stop Blaming Video Games for Mass Shootings." We're gonna use that as a springboard to just have a valid and open conversation about things like this. If you don't know, our friend David Lasby is a contributor and a co-host over at Nintendo Pow Block with Ed, and he's a father. He's also a school teacher, just like you, Chris. And by the way, Chris, you know, I feel like I gotta start thanking you for your service as like you're a veteran, you know, because you're a school teacher, and you know, like,
not only do I have to teach them, I have to actually get them out of the building in case there is a shooting.
You have to protect them.
The cops can't do shit.
Yeah. Oh yeah, for real.
Fucking cowards.
Yeah, and you know what? And I was telling my boyfriend last week. Because it was while he was still in California, because so it was a couple days before he got home, and I was telling him, I was like, you know what, the crazy thing about this is I never thought about like my friend's safety, like you particularly, Chris, until we had that shooting in Newport News.
Heritage. We had a school shooting in my district.
Yeah.
This fucking year
in my town.
Oh, that is right.
It shut my school down.
Yeah.
I knew like my principal had to fucking leave because his soon-to-be wife was there and the information was bad. Are you ready for me to rail, or do you want to intro it a little bit more? Because I even dressed the part. I wore my shirt for you, Ted. Fuck you.
By the way, yes. Where can I get one of those shirts?
I can give you a link. One of my friends makes them. I did back when I did the Beto Days show. We became friends with Phaedra. Phaedra, it does just a fucking amazing work. She did a bunch of shirts for Beto, but because Ted Cruz is such a sniveling,
he's such a panty waste
fucking person. I wore my shirt for him, so fuck you, Ted. And I know you know who I am. I know who I am.
Ted Cruz knows who I am too. Like, yeah, I've kind of lit him up on Twitter a couple of times.
No. Like, he was retweeting videos of me. That motherfucker.
Oh, he definitely knows who you are. He definitely knows who you are. Then, all right. So let's count this back. We had Chattanooga was the most recent one, right?
Chattanooga was Oklahoma is the most recent one. It was Buffalo 2 Saturdays ago. Uvalde on Tuesday.
Yep.
And then within the next day or two, we had a few more. We had Chattanooga. We had Oklahoma. This shit happens all the fucking time. You just don't hear about it.
I know. It's ridiculous, right? And you want to know the sad part? I'm going to go ahead and admit this right now. I'm so desensitized to it now that, you know, like, I see the information about the shooting and I already and I move on. Like, when I heard about that shooting right after Uvalde, I was like, I can't deal with this. I didn't even look at the information for it. I did not want to know.
I know they said it was like teenagers. No one got killed, but it was like
It was more of a mayhem incident.
Yeah.
Because we're letting them get guns when that shouldn't happen.
I don't know. I'm just like, when is this gonna end? Like, because you look back at history. You look back at history. You have Columbine.
99 is the first one. Yep.
Yeah,
Columbine was the first one.
Yeah, Columbine was the first one, and people blamed Marilyn Manson for his music that influenced.
They also blame violent video games.
Yeah, but at the moment.
Because Doom and Duke Nukem were part of their... Well, it was mentioned in their manifesto, but it was not them saying that they want to emulate the stuff that they saw in the game.
But mainly it was pointed to Marilyn Manson. Then we had the shooting in the college in Virginia.
Virginia
the
Tech.
sniper.
Virginia Tech.
The Virginia Tech sniper.
No, he didn't
what
snipe,
is
dude. He was in buildings.
No.
with handguns.
Yeah, he was in building with handguns.
You're,
Oh,
you're
yeah.
talking about the Beltway sniper. That's something that was terrorist.
Yeah, that was
wasn't
DC.
shit.
That was DC.
And then what was it? The
Sandy
fucking
Hook's the next one.
Yeah, Sandy Hook, which to me is still, you know, to this day I can't get over like how the fuck they let Sandy Hook happen the way that they did.
Yo,
And it
how
just
about
happened almost
how about
10
the
years
dude
again?
How about the
Um,
dude that was
a week
how about
ago.
the dude that was on top of the hotel building in Las
Sure,
Vegas?
that-
and
yeah.
was
Yeah,
shooting
Can
in
we
the
pause
concert?
here for a second because we
and,
skipped
you
over
know-
a huge thing, like a big piece of this
What's that?
that is getting missed? Because you mentioned that we had Columbine in '99. Then we don't really have another shooting like that until 2007. 2007 is Virginia Tech, and we don't have another one until Sandy Hook. Well, what the fuck happens then, right? Columbine is done with shotguns and handguns. Virginia Tech is done with handguns. What you have that happens in between 1999 and fucking Sandy Hook is the assault weapons ban.
The assault weapons ban gets lifted.
And
It gets
now you
lifted.
have unlimited access. And another piece that most people don't know about, because guns in this country were limited by the Supreme Court. You couldn't buy a Tommy gun. You couldn't buy a sawed-off shotgun until 2008, when the Supreme Court, which is headed by conservatives, who apparently, if you're a conservative at this point, you know, or really within the Republican Party, you're okay with dead kids because that's what you're voting for.
Yeah.
I
completely agree.
And then like with this shooting happening in Texas the way that it did, the fact that an 18-year-old kid got a hold of fucking weapons, but then again Texas being the way that it is set up with their gun laws and all that, fucking I wouldn't be surprised.
Abbott made it so it was it's easier to get these weapons. And that's on the governor. That's on the governor of Texas.
So
and that kind of bothers me a lot because what was it? I was stationed out in Texas before I grew
up in Texas.
Before a couple of months before I went from Korea to Fort Hood, there was the Fort Hood shooting.
Oh yeah, the Fort Hood shooting
with Major Nadal Hassan shooting up the SRP site and killing a total of two dozen people.
That was a handgun too.
Yeah.
What year was that?
That was 2000 and December 2009 November 2009 going into 2010.
2008 is District of Columbia versus Heller, which is where they just opened up and made the United States open season and decided that people could kill whoever they wanted. It completely just made the Second Amendment, which says, by the way, regulated militia. So if you're not in a militia, you really don't need a fucking gun.
And then there was the shooting that happened in Florida with that
nightclub.
With that high school kid. I think his name was like Nicholas Cruz.
Yep, Parkland. Fuck that.
Yeah, the Parkland, and it's just it's crazy to me how, you know, this happens and it's just gotten to the point to where another shooting's happening.
So
what
is it? Oh, go ahead. Go ahead.
So I did an article before everything happened. It's called "Silence on Adult Violence," and me and Craig was talking about this on Pow Block, so you guys be able to check out that discussion. I wrote about it saying that when it comes to kids doing mass shootings, video games always come up in the conversation, being the reason why it is part of everything happens. But every time when an adult does it, video games never get mentioned. So it's just like, well, if we're comparing mass shootings,
that's a solid point.
When we compare mass
shootings, never
shootings,
came up in Las Vegas,
right? Every time, even when a mosque gets shot up, every time that adult does it, no one has any kind of reason. They don't talk about mental health. They don't talk about.
So it's because video games are low hanging fruit. Because I guarantee you, if they raided somebody's house that did a mass shooting and they saw a video game console, they probably didn't even look to see. Like all the motherfucker could play was Dance Dance Revolution. Never had another one game in his house, and they'd be like, "Oh, video games did this."
But I always wonder if you're connecting that a kid has learned how to shoot a gun through a video game. Do an adult who is 54 years old, just an example, do the same thing? Because no one talks about going to the gun range. No one talks about seeing
Well,
receipts or
No,
anything.
nobody,
well,
nobody
here's the
has
thing,
learned how to
though.
shoot a gun on a fucking
Ed,
video
here's
game.
the thing. You also got to look at the history behind the adult. We don't know if the adult like served in the military, if he has
Law enforcement.
if he had law enforcement, if there's PTSD involved of some
Mhm.
sort. Like you have to look at the bigger picture. That's probably, and that's a lot of the reasons why they don't really connect
And I think that's
video game, gun violence to video games when it
and
comes
I
to
think
adults.
right, and I
Meanwhile,
think
with
that's
children, is they're still learning, and in the public eye, it's
No,
and,
no,
and,
no child,
and,
no child, no
and,
child learns how to shoot
and
shoot
this,
a weapon
Absolutely
and
not.
this is
from a video game.
this is the thing that I mentioned in our discussion for Pow Block. I said video M-rated games, when you go to a store and you have to buy them, regardless of what store you go to, you have to have a driver's license or a state ID. M-rated games, it's not this is not done by law. This is store policies. They made their own thing into the system where if you buy a game,
Actually, it started off as a mandated law because
Yeah.
Joe Lieberman was getting ready to take video games away from us.
Fucking Joe Lieberman.
and then that's when the rating board stuff, the ESRB
The rating
came
board,
out.
the rating board started. Nintendo and Sega both spearheaded a ratings board because Nintendo was like, hey, we don't even make violent video games, and if we publish a game that has violence in it, we do all sorts of things to censor it.
Right.
Meanwhile, Sega is all about the blood.
Sega was about to get.
own.
Sega was about to get in trouble with Night Trap,
Yeah.
stuff like that, so Sega and Nintendo came together and they created what eventually became the ESRB.
Yeah, and I was talking to, when me and Corey was talking, I'm just like, why is video M-rated games that's rated? Why is that almost hard to get just because you have a driver's license or a state ID? But guns are easier to acquire. It doesn't. I don't know if there's
because idiots make them so. That's
right.
the thing.
So,
They make money in blood.
So I think that's why when we were talking about why politicians who talk about M-rated games and they should be this and they should be that.
This is an easy one. The reason why politicians talk about video games is because they're not being bought by people who make video games.
Yeah,
they're definitely being bought by the motherfuckers who make fucking handguns, assault rifles. And before anybody comes in my mention saying there's no such thing as an assault rifle, I know that. But by the way, it's a classification of it because that's the way that we as a society have to.
That's how society labels it.
And I always wonder, I'm like, these guns have to be expensive. Definitely if you're buying all this ammunition.
They're not that expensive. They're not that expensive. They're not that expensive.
And they're still several $100s. The two guns that kid bought were like $1,200 a piece. And then 375 rounds. Ammo is expensive.
Ammo is expensive. I'm like, how are you 17, 18 years old and you're making $1,200 or however much to buy this type of
that guy was like fresh out of high school.
Right.
Yeah, like just got his degree, looking like he should be applying to his first summer job somewhere or getting ready to go to college
but seriously, the people who manufacture guns, the people who manufacture ammunition, the people who manufacture accessories for weapons and stuff, these motherfuckers are always in the fucking ears of politicians and stuff like that. Like for example, by the way, Bernie Sanders used to get contributions from the NRA because he said he would not institute any gun legislation.
Yeah, well,
Bernie Sanders, everybody's fucking hero.
A lot of people are changing their tune. And let me just, because I before I came in, so because of the work that I did, I worked for the Beto Work campaign. I met a lot of different people and I actually have friends.
Which by the way, I loved that man when he walked up there to that podium.
So to kind of take that into context, I bet you he fucking knew that they were lying. He'd been in Uvalde for 2 days. He had talked to the families. He knew what Abbott and Cruz and all those motherfuckers were saying was garbage. But anyway, I've made a lot of friends.
And by the way, like that entire legislature staff down there, they are trash.
They're all trash.
They are.
All of them.
They are. And you know what?
Briscoe Kane, fuck him. Dude looks like he belongs in fucking Willy Wonka's factory.
Wow.
13-year-old looking ass motherfucker wouldn't even get carded for beer.
The crazy thing, the thing that outraged me about Uvalde, before we get back to the main topic, the thing that
I got some shit to dig into because I talked to
the thing that outraged me about Uvalde is the fact that the cops did not want to do anything. They did not want to do anything
because they were afraid.
But they sure as what
How do the fuck do you wait a whole hour?
Yeah, and also they were responsible for some people getting killed.
Yeah.
I'm just like, how do you wait a whole fucking hour to then do something? Oh, we didn't think there was an actual shooting. Well, did you look inside? Did you not pay attention to the gun sounds that were going off?
The teacher.
Yeah,
it's bullshit.
Doug, you and I are United States veterans, and guess what?
I'm just like, this shit is preposterous.
But guess what? You and I are veterans, and they never call us as veterans like the world's finest. The nation's finest. Who do they call the nation's finest? The police force. They call them the nation's finest all the fucking time.
Because they get the most funding to do absolute nothing. But when you talk about taking the funding away from the cops, it's always, oh no, you shouldn't do that. We need the funding. For what? What the fuck are the police doing?
Those motherfuckers need some type of money or training or something, because they sure as hell. I don't know what their police department is spending their money on, but it definitely wasn't training for these situations.
Look at some of the shit out of
LeRon, that's what I'm saying. I'm like, where is all the money going? For the police, because obviously it's not going into the training. If you got these motherfuckers afraid to step into a fucking school, they're upset. They gotta wear body cams. Well, no shit, because half of y'all can't even be trusted.
Did they even turn? Here's my curiosity. Did they even turn on their body cams while they were cowering outside the building?
I don't think they did.
And from what I've heard about Texas, we're going to be hard pressed to get those 911 tapes. Texas likes to bury shit, and I'm telling you, that's what's happening. It stinks to high heaven. The city is not cooperating with the state anymore. People are trying to roll people under the bus. And like I was saying before, because of what I did for the campaign, I made a lot of friends, and unfortunately, a lot of friends who have gone through unfortunate circumstances. And one of my friend's daughters was murdered in a high school, in Santa Fe High School. They kind
of rolled themselves under the bus though. Like look at all those press conferences they had after that. Like the one guy, I can't remember his name. The one guy who was like with this.
Let me finish where I'm going with this before we get back into the ineptitude of the cop, because it's key to the entire thing. I talked to somebody who has been impacted by a fucking mass shooting. Their daughter was killed in high school, and the first thing I asked her was, "I'm going to go on this show. If you're going to talk to anybody about shit like that, you've got to talk to the people who are actually directly affected." And so I sent her a text message. I said, "What is the one thing that you want people to know when we talk about video games and mass shootings?" And in full caps, she said, "Video games don't cause mass shootings." Right? People who are the victims of these events are saying it is not the video games, it is the guns, it is the politicians who are beholden to basically blood money. When 26 fucking kids died in Sandy Hook, it should have been it. It should have been done. Canada just banned their fucking guns because of us. But we can't pick up the shit. I have to go to work and tell my kid every day and hug that child and not know that I'm coming home because I'm a fucking teacher. Yeah. Fuck those people. Fuck you, Ted Cruz. Fuck you, Greg Abbott. Fuck anybody that takes NRA money.
You know what? Before
have a special place in hell.
Yeah.
Burn, baby, burn.
Real quick. I just posted a link in our Twitch chat a couple of years ago. Stoy, as far as the EXP cast, he made a video. They did an EXP cast show talking about a gun. Talking about crap. Why am I losing my words right now? Is video game violence a problem? Like, you should definitely check it out. He's actually got data behind some of this stuff, because well, not they, but as an EXP cast, but like actual legit people Like they actually did polls and did testing and stuff to see where the needle falls in video game violence with real world violence and stuff like
They've
that.
done studies that there's no correlation.
Yeah,
So-
exactly.
There's
There's no
correlation
correlation
between crooked politicians and looking for a scapegoat so they can continue to get money.
Yeah, because
because
it makes zero sense to blame the teachers for why those kids got killed. It makes zero sense to blame.
Oh, dude, it came out today. She called the cops. She kicked a rock out and closed that door. She's the one who called the cops. The teacher that they were trying to blame called the fucking cops on him and said he's shooting.
Well, I know.
She kicked the rock.
I
There's
know.
no way she knew that door wasn't locked.
I know.
Without being on the other side.
I know Obama has done. There's a video on YouTube where Obama has been speaking to people about why there's a problem getting like gun control and having debates and stuff on it. I just say, hold on. I just say people go watch that because Obama does present some not data but information on some things. So I'm just gonna leave it right there.
I'm good at this point with people giving their opinions. But you know what your opinion has gotten these people's opinions has gotten? It got
little kids killed. Little kids killed.
In fucking in involvement.
You know what?
Like I'm tired of talk. Like
hang on. Hang on. I'm about to get real for a second here. The reason why this type of violence still happens is because you and you guys know who I'm talking to when I say this. You who are listening to us. You guys are directly and personally responsible for certain politicians, certain bad actors and stuff getting into office, influencing office, things like that, influencing legislature and stuff like that. It's not hard to look at somebody and see that they're not an honest person or they're not an upright person, stuff like that. It's like that poem. Like when they show you who you are, you need to believe it on the first look. When they show you that stuff and things like that, I can go on all night talking about Ted Cruz and stuff like that. He showed me who he was the very first time, way back when Trump, talked all that shit about his wife on stage. He showed me exactly who he.
He met with my friend from Santa Fe, and she is one of the most loud. Like she confronted him in a place, and eventually got to have a conversation with him, and he was an asshole.
Here's what it boils down to. Here's what it boils down to.
A woman whose daughter was murdered at school.
Here's what it boils down to. You guys want we the people. We want responsible gun legislation and stuff like that. We got to vote for the right people. Even if that means voting against your party, so be it. Do you want your kid? Do you want your kids, your grandchildren, your nieces, your nephews, and stuff like that? Do you want your spouses, to come home and stuff like that? You need to vote. You need to vote where it matters. If gun control matters to you, which according to all the polling data that I've seen, gun control matters a whopping like
90% of the
country.
It's literally been going up because of these mass shootings.
Then why the fuck are you voting for your party that is not looking out for your safety and your best interest?
That's the point.
Well, that's it too. Why are you not voting? And you know what that can also be said about. Do you care about the fact that your daughter might get raped or something, and you live in a state that no longer allows you to have abortions and stuff? You know what you're doing when you vote for these people, and if you don't know what you're doing, you need to sit down. And it doesn't take that long to study where these people's stances are. Like hell, the internet's free. Jump on Google, look these people up.
There's things that never help you educate you.
You're fucking at least he's a Republican. That shit's gone out the window.
That's not reason enough. That's not reason enough.
What you're telling me when you say, "Well, I'm not going to vote for a Democrat," you're telling me that you're going to vote for dead children. You're going to vote for kids to be murdered in school. That's what you're voting for. And the second that you tell me that, you can go fuck yourself.
Well, I think the thing about it is that definitely for this topic, for the mature gays, it's really falling on deaf ears. A lot of people are not believing any of this. They are mad. They are mad at the politicians. They are mad at the cops.
Yep.
Definitely when the Musk went to the NRA to go have their talk, that really upset a lot of people.
That protest was huge. I had friends who were there. It dwarfed the NRA fan.
They know that the Dawson Prayer stuff doesn't work. A lot of stuff that a lot of people are using and trying to say to make make themselves look better, is falling on deaf ears. You can't
Yep.
now. There's no way now you can say video games cost us. No,
Well,
because
But you can say that, but when it comes to November, you have to fucking vote.
you have to.
And
You
like
have,
you have to vote. Like your kids' lives depend on it. Like your fucking daughters and wives and mothers and all of that shit. You have to vote. Like that shit is. It depends on it fucking does right now.
Yeah, I don't understand. I don't understand why it's so hard to like. Why it's so hard to okay, if you're voting your principles and like that's where it falls. Like you don't
I
want
have
people.
seen
You don't.
people on Twitter say, "I'm not going to vote for Joe Biden just because he's only getting rid of $10,000 of student loans." And
So
fuck those
stupid, by the
people.
way.
I have
So stupid, by the way.
$250,000 in student loan debt. I'll take
That's
that $10,000 and fucking vote for him.
Well,
I'll
that's
smile
because
on my face while eating a shit sandwich. I don't even care. As long
You
as
have
it's not
that much-
murdering kids.
you have that much money in student debt because you're like a real life version of Van Wilder, bro.
I have all the degrees.
No. I know this.
That's mine and my wife's. I added us together.
I know this guy. I know this guy personally. Trust me. I know how long he's been in college.
I think
I'm not in college anymore.
I think a lot of people don't realize that video games has helped people do mental health. People have
Yeah.
the emotional things, and I think when we look at mass shootings, I think the adults who are trying to say that this is the cause of it don't look at the sales data.
Hold on. You know
Well,
what?
I mean, they really don't look at anything.
Hold up, wait a minute on is like we can't just say we need to stop saying adults because guess what? Every adult is having this conversation right now.
Well,
We
I-
can't.
The kids are pissed.
I think when
Let me tell you.
I'm saying that when adults are speaking, when they're doing like when they're doing the interviews, like the cops and the politicians are saying it. That's the adults that I mean, because they're not doing the research. They're not looking at it. They are just like,
Oh.
I'm gonna make a statement so I can look good, and then just avoid anything else from it.
They want
Oh,
clicks.
and by the
Tom Cruise
by
want
the
clicks.
and by the way, the media is also culpable in some of this too because
100%.
because all they do is sensationalize it. Number
Yep.
one, they sensationalize it to the point because they want the views. So like it's going to be in your face and all this stuff.
It's
For number
Donald
the
one.
Trump
narrative.
changed the face of the media.
It's
It's all about clicks and like the most outrageous
Yeah,
thing.
it's-
Like
yeah,
even
yeah,
when
it's-
Joe Biden does like even something that's moderately good, there's some dumb fucking article like Joe Biden struggling with fucking pandas in China or some dumb shit like that. Like it's
Or
they
look
want
at
sensation.
Joe Biden sleep for a brief moment during a meeting.
because it's boring, like normal
Yeah.
fucking people
Well,
do.
it's-
Like to the rest of the media, like you've heard me say "fuck you" to politicians. Fuck you guys too. Like y'all are
Yeah.
part of the
Well,
problem. You're
it's
sensationalizing
part
this
of
shit.
it's part of the narrative, it's part of the persuasion, it's part of the informative when it comes to the media. They're trying to inform you, but there are some news sites and stuff that are trying to give you a persuasion.
They push an agenda. They push an
10 people are
agenda.
dead in Buffalo because the media wanted to report on how racist Donald Trump was, and it gave fuel and fire to racists. So some fucking piece of shit went and killed 10 people grocery shopping.
I think the
Giving them a
sad-
platform is not a good idea.
I really think the sad part is that what you were saying around, like if voting doesn't, if people don't get the right people in, this is not going to change. This is not going to fix anything. So it's going to, and it really depends on the individuals who get registered, who vote, who have that right to believe whatever they want to believe, whatever. But if you don't get the right people in that is longing and trying to work hard to change stuff, we're still going to be in circles talking about this subject. It don't matter if it's going to be at the kids, it don't matter if it's going to be at the mosque, it don't matter if it's going to be racial intent, whatever. A mass shooting is a mass. It's a mass shooting.
Yeah.
Exactly. A mass shooting is a mass shooting, and if nothing is going to curb it or try to fix the situation, you could blame video games all day long. That does not fix anything, because even if you took video games away, mass shootings are still going to done.
But if you take away the fucking guns, it goes down, and that's what they don't want to admit.
That's exactly.
And I know to the viewers and listeners who are watching this, yes, get involved.
We're
Help.
pretty fucking passionate about this now, guys.
Yeah,
Like,
like really educate yourself, educate others about issues with certain politicians that's coming up. Because the thing about it is, oh,
uh-oh, we lost him.
We
no.
lost Ed.
We
We
lost
lost
him.
that. We need to
No.
bring him back.
He'll be back in a second.
Oh no, they got him.
Yeah, right.
Oh, God.
Ted found him. That's right, Ted. I know you're watching. Bitch.
They took
Hey,
Ed.
real fast, while we wait for and I'm all sweaty because I've been
just
all on this topic, man. To plug something real fast because we don't like so many mass shootings happen and they get buried. Before Uvalde, Santa Fe High School was the largest mass shooting in a school.
Yeah.
Nobody talks about that shit.
Yeah,
Nobody. I know
Yeah.
people who are personally
Actually,
impacted. Go on Amazon Prime
you know what?
right
That's
now.
the crazy part. Because of Uvalde, I that's how I learned about Santa Fe. I didn't even know Santa Fe had happened.
Exactly. Go on Amazon Prime right now and go watch The Kids of Santa Fe.
All right, so real quickly, David Lasby, who's actually the author of that article I linked everybody to earlier.
Badass article, David. Awesome shit, man.
Yeah. By the way, thank you, man. Thank you. Keep them coming. David mentions in the chat like it's money and politics dominates. These notions that games cause shootings could threaten the bottom line for gaming companies.
Yep.
I'm surprised they haven't launched a PR campaign. They tried that. They're not gonna. They don't
have to. People know it's bullshit.
Yeah, well, number one, but also these companies now they have the money to defend against that. They defended against that back when Lieberman tried to take video games away from us.
we got Ed back.
Sorry, Sky kicked me out.
As a side,
we thought Ted got you for a second.
that fucking bastard.
But
If just for everybody out there, when I get shot and die in my school, please do me a solid and catapult my fucking bullet riddled corpse onto the floor of Congress.
Oh, wow.
And if you can, hit Mitch McConnell in his stupid fucking face.
Here's the problem that I have with Congress. It's just we have a bunch of old fucking people that are stuck in their ways, old relics that just need to step down so that we can have newer people and set better laws that protect kids. And
Chuck Grassley is in his 90s. Fucking Strom Thurmond ran for president in 1948 and died in Congress in 2001. And that was a racist ass motherfucker, right?
Mhm,
He was all for segregation and he was still in Congress when I was in high school.
Here's my question. I'm gonna sound like an evil motherfucker when I say that. Like how come COVID didn't take any of those motherfuckers out?
It took all because they are all vaccinated. They were lying. The dumbasses that do the radio shows,
I know that.
They're fucking stupid. The politicians, they're not dumb. They make money. Politicians, specifically the Republicans at this point, are making money on dead Americans.
Okay.
Remember that and think about it when you vote for those motherfuckers in November.
Okay, Ed, you got cut off mid sentence. Do you remember what you were trying to say?
Oh, I was just trying to say that, just educate yourself about these politicians when you get ready to vote, or
For real.
really, like, even if you look at their ads, look at the way that they answer questions, like really pay attention, because the thing about it is that if you want things to change, you got to get the right people in to make that change. And if you really think that nothing is going to be done, take the first step to make something get done.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Because don't wait for other people to do anything. Be a participant. Don't be someone that's on the sideline, because this is the only way that things are going to turn around. This is the only way things going to change. And if people get mad, they get mad, but they're going to adapt to it.
If they get mad, they can go fuck themselves.
Right? If you want to get involved, you can find me on Twitter. I'll find a way. I can get you involved in some kind of organization. I can get you involved with some kind of politician. All you got to do is sign up. You can knock doors anywhere. Start local. School boards. QAnon people are trying to infiltrate that. Those motherfuckers are crazy. Like crazy. They are coming for your children. Christian nationalism is a huge thing in this country. It is dangerous. Any kind of nationalism is dangerous. But they are trying to legislate people's bodies. Fuck that. You need to hit it on a local level. You need to hit it on a state level. You need to hit it on a federal level. Like, we all need to vote. The people who are doing these things are evil.
And
they don't give shit about you.
And gamers, if you are so enraged about some Sony or Microsoft exclusive, you need to take that same passion.
Where's that?
Take that same. If you are able to vote, that passion that you are upset about when it comes to video games, you need to take that passion when it comes to voting and get
exactly.
Where's
that?
Don't be an NPC in this world.
Where's that same goddamn?
Actually, make a difference.
Where the fuck are those Rick and Morty guys at with the fucking Szechuan sauce? Where the fuck are y'all at right now?
If y'all can get Szechuan sauce back, you can get out and fucking vote. That's all I'm saying. That's
exactly.
Yeah.
Austin, you got anything else? You got anything to add to this?
No, Ellie. No, I don't have anything else to say. I don't have anything else to add. I just hope that something is done. Period. That's all I've wanted. It's like, it's not even that hard. Like, even if they were just to put. And the fact that like an 18-year-old can buy an AR-15, like just move it to 21, like at least show that you are trying to do something. At least,
like the same age it costs to buy liquor. Come on.
Well, now in New York, now you have to be 21 in order to buy cigarettes. So if New York is willing to push the age from 18 to fucking 21 over a pack of smokes, what damage is pushing the age range for buying weapons?
How about we just get that shit off the street in general? It's unnecessary. If you were hunting with that shit, you fucking suck. Stop hunting. You are a bad hunter. You are trash.
Let's just think about something real quickly here, and this would be like a final thought before the final word here. Grown ass men can't even rent a car until they are 25 years old.
Mm-hmm.
You can't rent a car. It's impossible to rent a car.
Why do you think I said that even with M-rated games, you have to have a driver's license or a state ID to buy them? When you go to a store, like if stuff that prevents you or that is regulated, that is in place, that people have to go and do, guns should be able to follow this week. There are people who are gun fanatic will probably be like, okay, they're going to do a background check, they're going to take my driver's license, I have a 10-day waiting period. If I want this particular gun, I would have to do all of this to get it.
And
we support people support the Second Amendment like no other amendment. Like, you can't curse them at the beach down in Virginia Beach. You'll get a ticket, but you don't hear motherfuckers talking about that, right? Like, they get on some dumb shit just because some dumbass politician, because they want to listen. Most of those guys that are arguing for it want to play G.I. Joe, when in all actuality they play G.I. Donut Hole. So I mean, like, for real. We're slaughtering children so that these motherfuckers can play G.I. Joe. And
go ahead.
One last thing I want to say on this to anybody out there who thinks it's a good idea to give teachers guns. Fucking burn your voting card. Don't vote. You're an idiot. Like, you are too stupid to live, my friend. Like, you are asking to add more guns to a situation with no training. They don't train us to do shit.
Austin,
right, they want to do 24 hours in fucking Ohio.
Go ahead,
I
Austin.
have a good shot. I don't want to do that. Like, I'm not going to shoot a kid. Fuck you.
Go ahead, Austin.
Yeah. Well, no, I was going to add to Ed's because, I mean, out of all of us, I definitely live in the most conservative area by far.
I grew up in Pocosin, Virginia, my friend. But you also still live in Oklahoma.
I was going to say, do you
I go there not as often as I don't want to.
Yeah. But I'll say that it's crazy that like the same people that will throw games under the bus when it comes to a mass shooting like this are also the same ones who had kids that I played Call of Duty with when we were like 12 and they didn't even do it in their own household. They don't really care. That's not, it's always something that's, And honestly, if they really thought video games was the problem, why haven't they done it? If it was really
Video-
that big of a deal, why haven't they done anything?
Video games are low hanging fruit. That's why.
But-
Like,
and plus-
seriously,
and plus-
look at
and
the people that got
don't-
up in arms about a game named Bully. Like
Yeah.
they condemned the game before the game even came out.
And video games is not.
tested NWA in the 80s because rap music is the devil. And also,
and especially when they dropped the song
the
"Fuck
two
the
live
Police."
crew. The two live
Two
crew.
live
And video games is protected under
what
the
was
First
it,
Amendment.
body count.
Exactly.
Yeah, but-
Exactly. That's why they can't come out to video
Cop
games
Killer.
anymore, because like
Cop Killer.
that was Ice-T.
Yeah, he brought
Ice-T
a Body
and
Count.
Body
That
Count.
was the band that Ice-T was a part of.
Yeah, it's his metal band.
Yeah, Body Count. Because NWA was "Fuck the Police."
Yep.
Body Count was Cop Killer.
Okay, everyone. So
How do you expect people in those communities to react when literally they're murdered by police every day? So
Yeah.
let's talk about deflection and all. I hate people.
All right. So in our chat, David Lasby says that video games expose kids to democratic ideas like supporting LGBTQ folks. That's the thing that makes it a target.
So
That's
here's
true.
the thing. I want to talk about that. When that kid got identified for being bullied and all that, there were fucking conservative people trying to point out, oh, this kid was bullied because they were trans, and that wasn't the case. What they did was they pulled someone's photo that looked similar to that kid.
That had never
And
been
that
to
kid,
Texas.
they were like, yo, this is literally me. Stop using my photo to, point a narrative of some sort.
Yeah, like they did that. They did. He was undocumented, which wasn't true either. He was an actual natural born citizen of the United States.
Which would be funny if he was undocumented. How the heck he was able to buy guns?
Because you don't need shit to buy them in Texas. That's why.
Yeah, Texas, it's very funky.
It's the Wild West out there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Everybody knew this was going to happen when those motherfuckers were letting those laws go.
take Texas's guns away from them, there is going to be World War III.
I don't even think so. I don't even think it's like that anymore. I think people are really fucking done.
Yeah.
No,
I paying attention to Beto talking to a lot of them, and they don't want their kids getting murdered, man. Nobody wants their kids to die.
All right, so here
a podcast 2019. I've done El Paso. I did Odessa. I was in the room with Beto when he found out about Odessa. I've worked podcasts for 4 mass shootings. All of them were in fucking Texas.
All right, so here we go, and we're gonna go ahead and wrap this topic after this. Here's some things I just want everybody to listen, that everybody's listening to us to just think about. If this has affected you in some way, and when I say this, I mean like the mass shootings, the level of death, just the violence overall in the United States that's happening.
Traumatized every single day. That's the thing in there.
If this has affected you in one bit, if the stuff that we've talked about tonight has triggered you in some way, stop and think for a second. Why is it triggering you? Stuff like that. Also, like I will say this, and it'll sound like I'm contradicting myself. I can't tell you who to vote for, but what I can tell you to do is vote common sense. Vote like your life depends on it. Vote like your wife's life depends on it. Vote like your kids' lives depend on it. Vote like your cousin, your grandmother, everybody, your fucking dog's life depends on it.
They do.
You have enough. Everybody that's listening to this show has enough mental faculties to understand what's going on in this world, because guess what? You guys come to the show because we're a video game discussion show. You guys have what it takes to figure things out. Like if you're fucking politician or your elected official or hell, like your city councilman or your next door neighbor is talking some dumb shit, that does not make sense or is going to actually infringe upon your rights, somebody's rights that you low and love and stuff like that. You know which way to go. It's not that hard.
Said some dumb shit and I hung up on her ass.
Yeah, it's not
families.
And you know what? That's the thing about it too. Like a lot of people, I know for sure a lot of people vote on familial, like on familial ties and stuff like that. I know wives vote because their husbands vote a certain way. I know kids vote because their parents vote a certain way and stuff like that. Break that mentality. Like figure things out. Figure things out on your own. Figure out. you find the person that you find the person you want to vote for based off of how your life lines up and stuff like that. But not just that, like because certain people in this country, they have it easy. And I'm not gonna say who they are and what they look like and stuff like that. But certain people are always going to be taken care of. So for those certain people, you gotta look at the next person. If your best friend is a black or Hispanic person, think about how their life is affected by some of this bullshit that your politicians are talking about. If your best friend or a close friend is part of the LGBTQ community, think about that stuff. Think about the stuff that your politicians say. If like a good friend or whatever is a woman who basically is like looking like we're gonna be in the Handmaid's Tale and stuff like that, like think about that shit, stuff like that. If you have children or you mentor kids and stuff like that, or you have like a favorite niece or nephew and stuff like that, why are you letting these motherfuckers who want every single person under the sun to have like military style weapons to walk around this planet to walk around this country like it's a thing, I'm gonna lose my voice talking about this stuff, and that's a good thing because I will keep talking about this stuff. But use common sense, people.
Before
we have the power to control the way our government is ran, and guess what? For the last 6 years, it's been looking fucking terrible.
Before we close out, everybody do go read David Lasby's editorial. Stop blaming video games for mass shootings.
And also read The Silence on Adult Violence by Ed. I've also put the link to that in our Twitch chat tonight. Go ahead to bossrush.net and check that out. I've also put the link to the YouTube video that Story and the EXP cast did about video game violence and stuff like that. Check it out. Trust me, we're not trying to steer you wrong with this stuff. Mm-hmm. Like we want to be safe. We want you to be safe. We want your children to be safe. Yes. Let's go ahead and wrap this up tonight. Yes. I'm done.
So, I want to kind of bring some quick news. IGN just announced that tomorrow at noon they're scheduled to show 7 minutes of gameplay for the new Sonic game that's coming out, Sonic Frontiers. So if you're interested into that,
way to bring that, way to bring it
back around.
Yes.
So
Doug should be here more often.
So
he brings it all together.
This was announced 3 hours ago, actually. So I figure since no one's talking about it, I kind of
don't forget about the State of Play coming up on Thursday. I will be watching it.
I'm off, so I'll be watching it.
Yeah, I'll be watching it as well. I think we all will.
Yeah. Okay, everyone. Well, that's our show for the night. As always, I'd like to give a big thanks to you for tuning into Crossroads, to the Crossroads podcast. I swear I'm going to get it right one time. I swear. Thank you, David Lasby, for hanging out with us in the chat tonight for our big topic. We appreciate it, man. And we appreciate everything you do over at bossrush.net. Definitely go over to bossrush.net. Check out his writing, his material. He's also a copy editor, so that guy also puts a stamp of approval on what gets printed over there at the website. So check it out. You will like it. Before we head out tonight, here's how you can get connected to our crew. Doug, you are our guest tonight. You go first, man.
So you can find me on Twitch at DougGaming05. I'm on Twitter. My handle is DougRedfield87. And I'm on YouTube, where my YouTube channel is Doug's Gaming Channel. I play a multitude of different games, variety streamer, amateur speedrunner. So if you want to tune in to anything retro, modern, you know where to find me.
All right, Ed.
You guys can find me on Twitter and Instagram at that retro code. You can check out Nintendo Pow Blocks live on Monday and the recorded episodes on Wednesday. Me and Corey had a really good talk about the same topic, so do check that out. We also have Nintendo Expansion Pass, where we talk about other things about Nintendo. The latest one, we actually talked about the Switch's future and how it looks, so you guys could check that out. And also, if you want to get a lot of this material early, you guys could become a Patreon producer. You can go to Boss Rush and find out how to become a Patreon. You'll get episodes of After Dark, Boss Rush Podcast, Standard Definition, and Nintendo Expansion Pass early and more. Just $5. That's all you guys gotta give to become a Patreon producer. With that, Yeah, and also check out Optional Opinion on SoundCloud and World War One podcast. I'll be sometimes am on there. And getting ready to debut another podcast for World War One called Banging Bits.
Banging bits. All right.
Does it have to
Chris.
do with food? Because I want to be on that.
No, it's actually it's a music show, and Bits is done with BYTES.
Oh wow.
Oh. I'm actually gonna plug a personal project while I'm here. You can find me personally over at Real Chris True. That is my personal page. But since we've been sitting here and I've been kind of messing on my phone as well, my band Hailing Ishimura, we just dropped our first single. It is live on Apple iTunes right now. You
Congrats.
can go over and find us on Twitter at Hailing Ishimura. You can find us also at Hi Band BAND VA.com. Me and my bandmate, we're writing this entire space adventure story that we're putting out through music. This is the first single off of that album. The whole thing is it's stellar, and that's not just because I worked on it. Dom, who is my bandmate, does incredible work, and we've put together something really fucking cool that we're hoping people will tag on to. So go follow at Hailing Ishimura, ISHIMURA. And for legal purposes, I did not take that from Dead Space. It's an actual thing that LeRon told me about once.
Oh wow!
All right, Austin, you're up.
You can find me at Placed Austin on Twitter, and the episode with me and Ed on Scramble Rambles, it will be coming out in a couple of weeks. It's scheduled to come out in a couple of weeks. Well, I had to build up some episodes, so it's
Okay.
I believe it's June 3rd or June 10th. It's one of those weeks. I don't remember how I scheduled
I'm
it.
so excited.
I'm ready to do one whenever you are, Austin.
Yeah, me too. Me too.
I feel like you and I would riff on a lot of things because we're like very different people, but we get along, so it'd be fucking great.
But well, I only record on Fridays, so I don't know if Fridays work best for you guys.
I can make anything work for you, Austin.
Any Friday, we can do it.
My God.
I just made LeRon jealous.
Oh my God. Go get a room, you two.
Yeah.
As always, go ahead, Austin.
Well, I was going to say,
I thought you were done.
You can check out previous episodes that Ed did with me, though, where we also we've had not as quite into it discussions, but discussions nonetheless. So check that out if you don't mind. It's on Spotify only. I'm still working on trying to get it on everything else, but I can play music on there. So that's it's nice that it's on Spotify, so I can play music with it. So
nice.
That's it.
It's the little things.
Yeah.
As always, you can catch me on social media at X's803. That's also my Twitch and YouTube handles, as well as my PlayStation and Steam ID code. Ed mentioned After Dark. I am the lead host for the Boss Rush After Dark that you can check out early episodes of that on our Patreon, on the BossRush.net Patreon. Crossroads doesn't have a Patreon yet. And don't forget, Wednesday nights, I am with Corey and Stephanie for the Boss Rush podcast. So there's that. Before we head out real quickly, there's a couple of things you may want to check out over on bossrush.net. Last week, when we began the show, Stoy and I started off Crossroads talking about the classics that are Mega Man 2 and 3. And our good friend Jack Bro over at bossrush.net put out a Boss Rush banter asking gamers which Mega Man game is better, 2 or 3. He didn't steal the article from us. It just kind of happened on coincidence that we talked about it.
We have on Boss Rush talk about this topic like 9 times.
I think this is on every episode of every Boss Rush show. It's not even every show; it's every show.
Yeah, pretty much. Also, check out Patrick Knisley's retro game review for "Bury Me My Love," which is an instant messaging adventure game from the group The Pixel Hunt. And lastly, there's even more Sony news to check out, and our good friend Block from Block's Gaming Reviews, who's also a contributor here at BossRush.net, gives us a rundown on the God of War, Horizon, and Gran Turismo TV shows. They're in works by Sony right now. All that and more can be found over at BossRush.net, so head there and check out more editorials and shows from our ever-growing family of creators and contributors. And we're always looking for really cool gamers and nerds to hang out with, so why not join the Boss Rush Network Discord? Why not? As always, you can chat with us and keep the conversation going by hitting us up on Twitter at PS_Crossroads to dish some more news, events, and topics while we're getting ready for the next installment of Crossroads. It's been fun, everybody. This has been episode 83 of Crossroads. Come back and join us next week for another new episode of Crossroads. And remember, if you like the show, please consider subscribing to the podcast and giving us a follow on Twitch. And remember to share, rate, and review us wherever you check out the show. As a part of the Boss Rush Games family, we all want you to go out and have a great night. And as always, go out there, play games, be better, take care of yourselves, and think about the safety of the people you love the most.
Fucking vote.
Have a good night, everyone.
Bye, everybody.
Bye, guys.